exile. Another corner of YouTube. Self-exile. Voluntary exile. And now, there's nowhere to be exiled from. Because we're all here. Together. All the exiles. Hello, Busker. What's up? So I peeked at the news. Trump did amazing, marvelous, wonderful things in his first 100 days. He gave a speech about it. And Canada had some elections, and the Liberals won Canada. So that was the big headlines. Um, Other than that, not too very much. So it's open panel. Come talk about what's going on with you, or your world, or your opinion on the latest conspiracy theory, or what political story. Our philosophy, we love philosophy topics around here. Mental health. You can talk about your mental health story, background. In fact, we have somebody right now. Welcome,
Hey, dude. How's it
Busker.
going?
What's up?
Not much, man. Just checking in. Just chilling.
Yep, same here.
Puffing some Burmese mimosa.
Some what?
It's called Burmese mimosa by Garcia Handpicked. Yeah,
Burmese mimosa.
it's a good sativa leaner, but too much of it'll put you to sleep.
Hmm.
It's all about the terps.
Hello, Crucible Ghost. Has is Crucible dead? Has it finally died off? I thought it was growing. I don't know. I don't keep up with it anymore.
So I saw a headline. I didn't check on the video, but I don't know what it was, but it said that Canada was trying to go to war with America.
What? What? What?
Yeah,
What? Site were you browsing?
I wasn't browsing. I just was on YouTube and I saw
Oh,
that headline, and it was a new video. Uh, Headline of Canada wants war with America. Maybe they're just over dramatizing it for the headline. I don't know.
maybe they meant trade war.
That could be. I mean, it'd be nice if these people were more specific with their fucking headlines, right?
Welcome.
It's just like so many bullshit articles could be avoided.
Yeah, but I think headlines are made to catch attention and
Yeah, I mean, like,
drive views too.
even if it's just like a small thought, like somebody else's thought and not a fact, and they use that for the headline. I hate that shit.
What's up, Dobes?
Hello.
What's up, Dolb?
So, what are you Americans' thoughts on Canadian election?
I don't know enough about it. They said the Liberals won.
Yeah, they
But
did.
I know
As
Trudeau is not part of it anymore, so who knows?
no, Trudeau stepped down. By the way, I'm trying to be a bit silent because it's late, and I think there's a bedroom right beneath me. I don't know though, and I am
You're so
paying for it.
polite.
So either way, yeah, Trudeau stepped down a few weeks ago, and the guy who replaced him, is he Mark?
Was
It's
that
Carney
Mark
at
Carney?
least. Yeah.
That's
Mark
the
was
one
the
that won.
first time out. Yes, he won. Now he
Oh
has
shit!
been chief, like a big advisor of Trudeau for the past few years, so he isn't really all that new, to be honest.
Oh,
And uh, he's a big proponent of the way things are done in Canada already. His main positions in the past has been as the chief of the Central Bank of Canada, I think, and the chief of the Central Bank of England, the Bank of England. And so he's deeply tied to the current system. So it's quite ironic that
he's the
Canadians
chief of both
won't.
of those?
No, he has been. He has
Oh,
worked on separate occasions.
We have somebody in the back named Ghost that wants to come up.
You think it's the Crucible Ghost guy?
It might be. Ghost, if you have a channel, put in the back so I can see what you're all about, and you have to cam up so I can. You don't have to cam up on screen. Just flash in the back so I can see who you are.
Flash in the back, buddy.
Yeah, everybody's to flash in the back. If I don't know you, we've had
Gotta
way too many
flash
trolls
Jeff.
lately.
Gotta flash Jeff. That's a part of the deal.
Yeah.
All right, I see the cam. I got you there. I just need to know like your channel or what you're about or something. Because you're new to us. And are you Crucible Ghost? Or do we have two ghosts?
He's been
Two
here
separate
multiple
ghosts.
times.
Oh,
What?
you've been on before? What's your channel or what name were you on under? Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll bring you on in just a second.
I'm gonna mute.
All right, I'm gonna use an overlay and give this guy a chance. All right, Mr. Ghost. You're on.
Hello, how's everybody doing? I don't usually
pretty
show my
good.
face. I join a lot of panels. I don't usually show my face, but I was looking pretty cute there.
Oh, well,
I gave you the duck lips and the peace sign.
the what?
Duck lips and peace
What's
sign.
going on? What's on your mind? You said you've been here before?
I've been here. What I think I lied because I said this is my third time. It's my second time. I've definitely been for sure.
You've already lied. Well,
Well,
what's
my
up?
bad.
What's on your mind? Are you connected with the Crucible?
No, I can't do that. I'm not that good of a debater, man.
All right, you're
Not that good.
You're live now.
But I did
You're
type
off.
in. Oh, what me?
Yeah, you're on screen now, so don't.
Oh well,
do
how's everybody doing? No, now I'm gonna show my penis.
Well, no, don't, not on
No,
YouTube live.
yeah, not on YouTube, right? No, dude,
There's
I joined
way
one
too much
time
of that.
before I joined. It was a big panel last time I joined, though. There's a lot of people up here. They were all giving me shit. They were like, "Oh, you're Andrew's boy. You're Andrew's boy." I don't know if you remember that, but it was like a couple months ago.
It feels like I would. Like I would.
Oh, yeah, because they kept
Are
calling
you
me
Andrew's
Andrew's boy, and I don't know who Andrew Tate.
Wilson.
Who the fuck is Andrew Wilson?
From the Crucible.
Oh, Crucible. You should have said that. Yeah, he's my boy.
It's in the name.
I know it is in the name. I try to troll, but I can't troll because it's literally in my name.
Landy.
No, I just like him as a creator. That's all my name is. I do like Andrew. He's
Wait,
one
so
of my
you like
favorite
him as a
YouTube
person,
creators.
just not as a creator?
I like him as a debater. I don't know about as a person. I've never met him ever, so I don't know.
Oh,
They say never
but
meet your
not as a-
heroes because they might be a piece of shit.
not as a creator.
No,
but as a
he's
creator.
as a debater and as a creator.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how
So
he
you
is
like
as a
him.
person. I don't know.
You do like him.
Well, sir, listen. If he has a channel and you really like him, you can really like him. But if you meet him in person, it might change. That's why they say never meet your heroes. Correct?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, if you meet your favorite NBA player and he's a fucking piece of shit in real life, you probably wouldn't like
But
him
he
anymore.
might
Correct?
not be. He might be a nice guy. You're like,
He might not be.
cool. I like.
He might not be. I mean, He might not be. You meet him. I don't know, because he might be a piece of
So
shit.
like
Who
it's a
knows?
gamble. Don't meet your
You know-
hero
you
because
know
It is a
it's
gamble.
You know what's nice is
I
when
think
you have
so.
a hero, you have a hero, and you know exactly what to expect, so you can kind of just shrug it off.
What, like
Kind
Frodo, dumbass? You want to meet Frodo?
I was supposed to.
You want to meet
Shane-
Beowulf? Who's your
Shut
hero?
up. Hold on.
Well, no, I'm asking you. Who's your hero?
I was supposed to meet Shane McGowan one time, this guy from the Pogues, and I was about to, but the manager, whoever the road manager, was just fucking holding off. And I thought, you know what? It's probably better that I don't meet him because I know he's a fucking drunk ass motherfucker. I just don't want to see it in person.
R.I.P. Jeff.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
You said something. R.I.P.
I mean, he just proved my point, though. Yeah, if you should never meet your idol in real life, because what happens if your idol is like a really good guy? No, that's good, but what happens if your idol isn't a good guy? What happens then?
But if you don't meet him, you miss out on the good guy. Have you met any of your idols?
My father, my grandfather, my mother.
And did they disappoint
There's
you?
3 for you. No, sir, they didn't.
Anybody that idolizes anybody, if they meet them, they're gonna be disappointed one way or another. That's just the way it is.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was gonna say. Is just don't idolize people in the first place, and you won't have that problem of meeting them.
It's okay to idolize people, but but I mean, well, now I'm contradicting myself because you logically follow that statement. Because you meet somebody and they're actually a piece of shit. Like it's like meeting a celebrity. Then you meet them, they're actually a piece of shit. Like if a superhero was real in real life, they're probably pieces of shit in real life. You know, like Superman might be a fucking dickhead. You never know.
You know what's kind of cool though is you can meet musicians that you like are pretty well known online if you know how to talk to people and not suck their dicks.
Well, not rappers,
Or you
sir.
can do both.
Well, it's just like
Well, you can. And if you're P Diddy, you can also get that dick sucked and meet him.
Well,
oh, dude, isn't he like have a compound where everybody has SWAT stickers painted on them, or they're
I don't know how much baby oil do you have, brother.
I don't know, man, but Kanye's got this whole new thing where he's got a compound, and supposedly they got SWAT stickers and all kinds of weird shit all over the place.
Hey, Dan.
Dude, he's doing that shit for attention.
What were we
man.
talking about before Diddy? Because it seemed more interesting.
I don't want to say it.
It was Kanye I was talking
We were talking about of all people. Which that motherfucker can come here and defend himself. He'd destroy every one of us.
Who? Hey, Pat. Who are you talking about? Can come over here and destroy everybody?
Andrew Wilson. That's who I was talking about.
That's who I was afraid you were talking about. Okay, I'm not worried.
Well, you're the one that brought it up. You're like, why is your name Crucible? You brought it up. I
Yeah,
didn't bring
just
it up.
ask if it's connected to the Crucible, and oh, lo and behold, it turns out that it is.
It's connected to Mr. E.
Oh,
How
is
so?
he still part of that?
Yeah.
He
It's
gets
connected
almost more
to
complaints
Mr.
than
E.
Andrew does.
Well, it's connected to Mr. E. That's where my connection comes from. So bring it up to him.
I don't talk to Mr. E.
Anyways, how's everybody doing?
Peachy.
Good. It's a bit late, but good.
Good. A bit late?
I'm
Yeah,
not American. I'm European, and so
it's like the middle of the night for you, isn't it?
yeah, it's already the next day.
Yeah, there you go. It's
Although
like,
I can't sleep yet. I feel too restless. It's been a rainy day, and so I haven't been able to be out and do stuff. Well, I could, but why would I?
I'll tell you what, brother. Sorry. I'll tell you
No,
what,
no.
brother. Around here, though, it's been rainy, sunny. It's like fucking me all up, man. It's like, just make your mind up,
It never
Cold,
does
you up
that.
now.
cold,
It always
hot.
gets worse, and then better, and then worse.
Are you on the East Coast? Whoever T, what I can't read your name.
Ghost.
Call me by my name.
Oh, Ghost. Okay, you're not Street
Okay,
Ghost.
there you go.
I know another ghost called Street Ghost, and he seems to pop up on.
There can only be one ghost, brother.
Well, there's plenty of them out there. There's Street Ghost. There's all kinds of ghosts.
Oh, speaking of,
We only met one Crucible ghost.
Mikey,
Hello, Mike.
how's it going, Mikey?
No, I'm not. From
Welcome.
whatever you just said.
Staple guy, almost more of a staple than Jeff himself on this stream now. You should actually do see the statistics on that. What percentage of streams each panelist is on, like off Jeff's streams? He's obviously on in 100% of them. Mike, are you on 10%, 20%, 50% of all Jeff's streams? What do you think?
And what are the ratings too?
How about you, Gold Bez? How many do you get on? I mean, shit.
Because you might be on 0, but the ratings might be like 80% because you're off of them. Just saying.
I've been on a lot, but it's spaced out, and I, due to the different time zones, I'm not that often, but I have been probably more than most, given how long I've known Jeff and, since I've been here since the beginning, but I'm not here often, so I think maybe 5% when you look at the entire stuff, but like
Probably
this
more than
period
that.
right now, maybe 2%.
You know what we call that in America? We call that autism.
Yay.
Sorry. All right, I'm done.
No, that was cute. That was fun.
My bad.
Well, this is our little home.
I got you though, brother.
But I can tell you that when Mike, the numbers noticeably go up whenever Mike is on, however often that is. There is a noticeable spike in numbers.
There you
Do
go.
the lights also go up?
Huh?
Yeah, and the big thing is that I'll be real quick with it. Other panels are now restreaming Jeff. They're restreaming
They've
him.
been doing that.
So now, but no, it's getting more and more to fruition, and people are now flocking to see what's going on your panel because they're seeing it on other panels. So other people that would never know you
So they're
are coming.
advertising for me.
It's free advertisement. It's free advertisement. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, man.
Am I allowed to talk shit or do I have to agree?
It depends.
The machine definitely likes to advertise
Depends
you.
what you say.
Am I allowed to debate or should I just sit here and chill?
Well, I mean, you could start saying, what do you want to get off your chest?
I mean, it is debatable that what he was saying. I mean, there's only 4 fucking people watching this, so I mean, it's kind of debatable. Nobody's restreaming nothing. I mean, I hate to be rude, but
No, they do. I've seen them. There are entire channels.
yeah, they were streaming,
This content.
trying to be haters, but their channel's getting 0 followers. There's only 4 people here.
There's
Okay, well,
23 on my
It's
side.
so the whole point of the conversation was it's
Three,
free
my bad.
advertising. Other people will see it and come and check it out. It may be 10, 20 people, but it
If
does
there's no
grow the
open panel,
channel
obviously
over.
it's free.
Hold on. It grows the channel over 4, 6, 8 months. It takes time to grow the channel organically, like Jeff says. But 20 more people a month will equate to 1,000 people.
We have to get 20 people a month.
You don't think he has? So Ghost, all right. I know all about you. I know your past. I know where you run.
I don't.
I'm not gonna.
You know all about me.
I know all about, dude.
Okay.
I know all about you
All
and the
right, go
circles
ahead.
you're running.
But
Go
see,
ahead.
Jeff
sometimes
has,
my
Jeff
Okay,
has
quiet.
go
gone.
ahead.
Jeff
No,
has
no, no,
gone.
no,
There
no,
are
sir. You made the no, sir. You made the
Ghost.
you
You're
made the
Hey,
claim. Go
hey,
you're
ahead.
a
hey,
weirdo, Ghost.
The burden
Jeff
of
has
proof is
went
on
from.
you. Go
I
ahead.
met Jeff. He had 400 and
No,
something
you're
subs.
talking about
Wait, no, I
me.
want to
And
hear
over
about
over
You're talking
Ghost.
about
6
me,
months,
though.
over
I want to hear
6
about
months, he's
Ghost.
almost at 900.
Yeah, me too. I want to hear
Wow.
about Ghost. I want to hear about Ghost.
He's almost at
I
900.
want to hear about
Right.
Ghost.
We want
So
to
he's
hear
I want to
more
hear
about
than
about Ghost.
double his
Ghost.
numbers. He's more
We
than
want to hear about Ghost. Dumb fuck. You
don't have a
dumb.
heart attack, bro. Don't have a stroke. Don't have a second
Right.
stroke. But he's grown his
You're
numbers.
not gonna do it,
And
are you?
It's
'Cause you can't do
little
it.
by little. It's
'Cause you
20,
can't do it,
30
can you?
people.
Because you opened up your mouth, you didn't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're gonna talk about Ghost. Go ahead and do it now. You can't do it,
retard.
can you? Fucking retard. You can't do it. Why the fuck you
I'm
open
a
up your mouth about me
retard.
then?
So now you're making fun of
You are,
mentally
sir.
handicapped people. You call
I
people
am
a
making the
retard.
claim. I am making the claim. You're a fucking retard. You're
See,
a
he's
dumb dumb.
debating
Fucking
after
You're
all.
retard.
stupid.
Okay.
What do
I'm
you know
stupid.
about
You made
Ghost?
you made the claim. Go ahead. The burden of proof
Right.
is on you, retard. Because you said you knew about Ghost.
Retard. Right.
Everybody here wants to know about it. Talk about Ghost. Go ahead.
So do you hang? So you hang out with Bird, right?
No, you made. I didn't make the claim. You made the claim. Go ahead.
You hang with Bird, right? Who doxes
I didn't
people
make the claim.
and goes
You made
real
the claim.
life.
Go
and goes
ahead.
real
You
life
hang
on
out with
people.
I
Bird?
didn't make the claim. You did. Go ahead.
Yeah. So do you hang out with
I'm
people
not
that
gonna
go
let
real
you.
life on
I'm
people?
not gonna let you buy with this. You made the claim.
Go
Go
to
ahead.
my
You
house.
know me.
Come
You
to
know.
my
You know.
house and see
No.
what happens. Come to
No,
my
we're
house.
not
I
doing
didn't.
the.
I didn't
No,
say.
hang on. But both of you, we're not doing the come to my house thing and all that stuff. Hey,
I do.
Dobez, what's up? Oh, you are
I do
kind
get-
of enjoying this?
I mean, I do get the appeal of watching people bicker. Especially as it's so senseless, so you don't have to be worried if this is important or not. But
It's not.
So you're not gonna do it. I just won that.
Dobez,
Dude,
it's
I
not
literally
important.
just
I'm
fucking
the
joined 5 minutes
irritator.
ago and I already won.
I'm only
Really?
irritating him. I'm only irritating
Come
him.
on,
I'm not.
You made the
It's
claim.
not, it's
Fucking
not that
back it up.
important. It's not that
Ow!
important. It's not.
I just won. Oh my god, this shit is easy, bro.
Hang
Fucking
on.
retard.
Hang on. I'm curious who he is. If there's something you know about
Yeah.
him, because I want to.
He-
If I'm
he-
gonna have him on the panel, I want to know all I
Sure.
can know about him.
Sure. So he goes to channels that are they dox people, they talk crap about people's families. He hangs in that sewage sector. That I know all about that guy. But like I said, I could be on panel, I could not speak to the person, but he is not a good Jeff.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to believe me. He's just not a good person.
No, I mean
That's
I
all
have
I'm
my
trying
own
to say.
vibe of him already.
Yeah. He's calling me a retard and cursing and yelling. I'm not yelling. I'm not cursing at him.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
you
call
gotta
him
have a
mentally
thicker
retarded.
skin than that, especially if you're gonna troll like
Jeff,
you do.
I know how to trigger these people. These are people that are messed up in the head.
Then
But good, let them
repress
back
it
on.
that way.
I'll be Jeff. I'll be chill. I won't say a word. I
Claim
promise
against
you.
you. He started it with me. I didn't make a claim. He did. He made a claim and didn't back it up. Burden of proof is on you. That's a
Well, he-
fallacy, you fucking retard.
Oh, another one. So there are people that are mentally retarded. Do you think that they're lower class people than just normal people? Do you think that mentally retarded people are not equal to other people? Is that your argument? Because if you're so Ghost, you're picking on handicapped people. You're making fun of people that are handicapped. Is that what you're doing? See the slow troll, Jeff? See the slow troll? You flip it right back on them. You flip them on their ass. You flip them right back around. So you're making
I
fun
don't
of.
think that's what he was doing.
Yeah. See, now he's
By
gone.
saying that,
And now he's gone. They can't face me.
you don't think it was his connection?
you didn't give him.
You
time
flip?
to
No. He'll take a minute and he'll smoke some weed and come back up in a few minutes. That's what he'll do.
Okay.
That's it.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So the whole thing. Hey, look. Hey guys, great to see you. But no, I know
Bex.
all about that dude. I know all about him. Yeah. He's a part
I
of the
didn't
whole.
kick you. I assumed your connection dropped.
Yeah.
I didn't kick you at all.
He'll come up and start yelling again, start calling me a retard again
brought you
because he
back.
can't have a conversation. He just starts spouting off all this crazy stuff.
He does
That's
seem
all
aggressive or very forceful.
Unhinged. Very unhinged.
I don't know unhinged, but
At least
So what I've learned What I've learned in life is when someone calls you out and they're actually saying the truth. When I said you dox people, you hang in those sewer circles. Ah, you retard! Ah! He just started going
That
crazy
sounded
out
like
of
a
nowhere.
Muppet.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's all good. I didn't come up here for this. I really didn't. I
Yeah, well,
really
it's
didn't come
over.
up
It's
here.
gone. It's gone. None of
Yeah.
us are gonna do that. So
But what's happening, Jeff, is that a lot of the people that are in the sewage sector, I call it the sewage sector, people that go low, people that
oh
dox,
yeah,
people that call CPS. I'm saying in general, people that go like super low and nasty, they're starting to frequent your channel now because you're growing. People are interested in you. So these dirtbags are going to come around and try to incite chaos on your channel.
oh.
You don't have to believe me, Jeff. I'm just telling you that's
No,
what's
I mean I
happening.
see some of it. I do see some
Yeah,
of it. I do a lot more like blocking than I normally do,
yeah,
and
yeah.
deleting of comments.
hmm I'm protective of you, man, and you don't need my protection. I just don't like people coming over here to try to interrupt your message. I
But
don't
a
like it.
lot of times it's because of you
Yeah,
they're over here, and it
of course,
escalates the message.
dude. I was at CT's. I was at CT's 10 minutes ago. Okay, and all these people are in chat talking about me. I come to your panel 30 seconds later. They're in your chat. It's the craziest freaking thing I've ever seen.
How did they know to find you here? Are they communicating through Discord or something? Because the numbers shot up. We're at 35 now.
Wait, 35?
As soon as they see you go live, they run over. Oh, it's the Mike Show. They come running
It kind of
over.
is the Mike Show at times.
Yeah,
Yeah. At
yeah.
least 60% of the time, it is the Mike
But
Show.
mostly
It's-
because we let it be the Mike Show. Like, because when it's not the Mike Show, it's the Cricket Show.
I can stop. I can stop talking. I mean, I love.
I know.
And the other,
But
a couple streams ago, everyone else was. I don't let anybody. I didn't participate. I was just being quiet and just hanging back and just listening. That's it. Just
you
listening.
do sometimes. I've seen you do that.
And then the chat is like, why isn't Mike talking? What's going on? What's the problem? And then when I talk, why don't Mike shut up? Shut him up. And then it's like,
They're
oh,
very, yeah, they don't know what they want. They're very confused.
They don't. So I had someone challenge me just like Ghost did. And I had someone else challenge me
Pat,
yesterday.
thank you very much. I appreciate it. In fact, even before you sent that, he's trying to get on. His connection keeps not connecting.
Someone was telling
See if
me
this works.
in another channel, oh, you're afraid to have your own channel. I'm not. I just don't want that headache. I don't want that burden on myself. I just don't want it. I don't want it.
I'm sorry. Was that my
all.
connection? My bad.
I just don't want the burden. That's all. I chose not to do that.
Yeah,
I had
think
someone
you
tell
dropped
me-
off.
Yeah, I
'cause
can talk.
brought you
I can
back
talk
and
to
then
you. I'm back,
disappeared.
by the way. 'Cause you guys did kick me, by the way.
Go
Nah,
ahead.
you kicked me. You know you did.
I'm gonna be quiet
listen,
for a
I'm
little
just
bit.
gonna
I'm just
go
gonna
ahead.
take a break. I'm gonna take a break and be
Make
I
quiet.
didn't tell you if I kicked you. I would not even.
If you're
I'm gonna
gonna-
take a break and be quiet. Go
You
ahead.
should
I'm
shut
gonna
the
take a
fuck
break.
up. Yes, sir. That's what you should do.
Why are you cursing? Why are you cursing?
You
I'm
should
not
shut the
cursing
fuck
at you.
up.
He can
I'm not
talk.
cursing
He
at
can
you.
talk.
If you're gonna, sir, listen to me. I'm gonna teach you how debate works.
I'm
If
not
you're gonna,
cursing at you.
This is not
Well,
a
sir, if
debate.
you're gonna-
This
cursing
is
at
a
me.
Sir,
conversation channel.
well,
It's
stop
not a
talking and shut
debate.
up and listen. I'll teach you a
I'm
little
not
bit.
gonna shut up. I'm not gonna shut up. You're a little tiny Canadian guy who never cams up. That's what you are. I'm not cursing at you. Why don't you be a man and cam up? I'm cammed
Mike,
up.
usually I
Jeff's
take
cammed
you
up.
off and the energy
Dolbez is
changes.
cammed up.
This time it was him, and it already feels
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah. So, and I'm always very suspect of people that don't cam up because we're all grown men.
Well, he cammed in
And-
the back. He cammed to me.
Yeah.
And that's
He's a
all.
little puny guy. Yeah. I've seen him on camera before.
Okay. Well, he's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. He can't win. Jeff, they try to battle me, right? They try to battle me and they can't win, so they run away. They
Yeah, but
run
not
away because
here.
they
This
can't
is
win.
not the battle, Mike. Not for free anyway.
But watch. But Jeff, if you can appreciate this, I'm trying not to curse, not to swear, not to go too low.
How you think?
I'm trying not to go there. But what I do is I take them around and around and around, and they get so frustrated, Jeff, they quit because they can't win.
Well, I dropped him
So,
this time.
yeah, it's all good. Other than that, what's going on? How is Norway? What's going on in Norway?
How is Norway? Well, I suppose not much. We did, our Prime Minister did visit the White House,
Mm-hmm.
and the only thing that came out of that is that he is so, like, he had to bring someone from his government to help him. It was not the Minister of Foreign Affairs. He brought the finance minister, because the finance minister, he's the former chief of NATO, so he is the so-called Trump whisperer. So he had to bring his Trump expert to deal with Trump.
Oh, they have a
Instead
Trump
of his
expert.
foreign minister, whose
Yeah.
express purpose is dealing with the diplomatic, he brought the Trump whisperer instead. It seems to be working though, because Trump is glazing us undeservedly. Like, that government is among the worst we've had in decades. But Trump likes a few silver words and a shiny spoon, and then he'll talk nicely back. But aside
It's
from
funny.
Norway,
Did you see when Zelensky met with Trump at the Pope's funeral,
Mm-mm.
and
oh yeah,
and he wouldn't even shake Macron's hand?
no, I haven't been paying attention too much to the Pope there. I did see the famous picture, of Trump and Zelensky sitting in.
So, yeah, Macron was talking crap about Trump, so then Macron went to shake his hand, the president of France, and Trump's like, just turned his
Oh, he
head.
just
Yo,
turned
Trump,
away.
yeah, Trump is cold, bro. He is cold-blooded, bro. He's cold-blooded. And then Zelensky thought that he was going to have Macron, cold-blooded, because have Macron as a meeting. Yo, there was 3 chairs. You have to watch this, guys. There was 3 chairs, right, in the middle of the room. And then Trump went like this and put his hand out, and they removed one of the chairs. So Macron couldn't sit down on him and Zelensky's. Dude, it is gangster. Trump is a
Wow.
gangster, dude. Trump is a gangster. Oh my God, you gotta watch it.
Sadly, though, or hopefully, he's gangster in a beneficial way. It doesn't seem like it, but hopefully.
I think he's the first president. I think he's the first United States president with the full set of cojones since President Kennedy. Yeah, I mean, he has all the gusto.
But none of the brains. Okay, that's a bit hyperbolic, but
He has a certain cunning to him.
he does. He does. I do not think he's among the top presidents, but it's not at the bottom either. He's, he has too much. He has balls enough where he isn't a pushover, and so by that alone, he isn't at the bottom of the list of presidents. But he doesn't seem to have any ability to execute upon his grand plans and visions to an extent that someone like Roosevelt would have been able to do, and so he doesn't reach that top spot, because you need the vision, the ability to execute upon it, and the balls to do that in spite of domestic and international pressure. And while Trump certainly has the balls,
he's more balls than brain.
That can probably be said, but maybe that's what America needs. I keep saying
More
that
balls.
though, but I think that's more just placation to myself. That this is what America needs. This is what is best long term.
Jeff, I'll be back in a few minutes, but I'll be back, guys. I'll be back.
Okay, welcome, Cy.
How you doing, Mike? Yeah, I was just listening in the background there. Mike was a bit angry when he first started, but I couldn't agree more than his statement on Trump. I mean, I know you're probably not a fan, Jeff, but I think the world needs more leaders like Trump. I wish I had a Trump. UK.
Well, what do you think about Canada's elections? Is it good that the Liberals won, or does it
I don't
make
know
you hate
that.
Canada more?
What I will tell you is Mark Carney fucked our economy. He was the head of the Bank of England for 6 years, and he screwed it. And then he fucked off back to Canada. So
you got to
I
do it to 2 countries?
I wouldn't be betting on Mark Carney, that's for sure. But
Then it should make you happy. if they're on the
I,
path to destruction.
yeah, anything that destroys Canada will make me happy.
Oh
But
wow, where does that come from?
have you ever tried that maple
Betrayal.
syrup? It's
Have I
shit.
tried?
It's fucking.
It came from a bad experience with
Oh,
maple syrup.
Have you seen the flag though, Jeff? Look at the flags of all the former Dominions. You know, Australia, New Zealand, they kept the Union Jack. You know, Canada did not. If I was a
and
British person, I would look a bit down upon that.
I'll tell you what
Spitting
I
on the
didn't like.
heritage.
That was Trudeau. I didn't like what they did to the trucking industry. I thought that was disgusting, and the liberties they took with their bank accounts. But we're going through this in our country as well, so it isn't a one-sided street. But I thought Trudeau was the worst leader for Canada ever. Listen, how can a man do a blackface and then he still all the other people that's outraged by that all suddenly think it's okay? And it's like, yeah, but if I did it, it wouldn't be okay.
Yeah. Well. He's. Have you seen the images comparing him to Fidel Castro?
No,
And
I-
the idea is that he looks too close to be anything other than a bastard son. Like I I don't think there's any truth to it, but I feel it speaks sort of to his nature. He doesn't seem as if he's real. Like there's so many layers to him, and he's fake. His whole act is fake. You know, as he said, he does blackface. He does this. He pushed through this policy where you got to acknowledge the native land or whatever. But I think that's him. You know, before
but
every
do you
government
know
speech or
what's
something.
yeah, do you know what's
It's
scary? Is in World War II, a lot of the top shit, nasty SS officers and generals, they all ended up in Canada. They all migrated to Canada. Now you answer me that, and that's a fact. You can go and look it up. Fucking shit. There's some people think fucking Hitler's there, but then there's other ones that think he's down where that Graf Bay went down. But you'd be amazed. Yeah, yeah. Can't Canada let any bastard in, won't they? That's the trouble. That's the trouble with Canada.
So this is deep seated, deep rooted.
I'm not saying that. Listen, are you trying to say I'm a far right thug or
No,
something
I
like that?
didn't. I never once even used that word or did
If
it
you look,
cross my mind. Africa, and I was thinking about you the other day. What's up? We haven't seen you in a while. Um, no, I didn't. I didn't say that you were far right at all. I just said
no,
you
all
were.
over.
I
Well,
call it
like,
tribalism, but racist toward Canada, or
no.
tribalistic toward Canada.
I think Canada has made some mistakes over the years, just like all the countries, England, but they have made a lot. The trouble with Canadians, they like to, it can be swept under the carpet and we forget about it, whereas that don't happen in other countries. It's like, no, we remember that. But Canada sort of don't, do they? Like, it's like, oh, no, we'll
So
talk
like
about
they
something
get
like
away with whitewashing
that.
their history better,
I don't know. Well, like, we've had this argument before, Jeff. There is no real
like the
Canadian
kid that
history.
gets away with everything.
You know, fucking what was he called? The bloke that was in power, and he told Winston Churchill, like, go to Canada and you have to walk across the mountains for the aid for before the Americans went into World War II. It's quite an interesting story, and he just made it in such a way it was impossible, but he didn't say no. But yeah, you can have a look into it. Yeah, Winston, I can't remember the bloody name. The fellow in the wheelchair. Um,
Roosevelt?
yeah, I think it was Roosevelt that told Winston Churchill, might be wrong, that
Because
like, no, yeah, we
maybe
can't
it
have
was Teddy.
yeah, but if you can backpack the stuff all across Canada, we're doing it that way. Yeah, it's quite an interesting story. Weren't until like fucking America lost a couple of ships, it was like, oh, we're in the war now. Because they weren't very helpful for a long time. So I ain't just knocking the Canadians, I'm knocking the Americans.
Well, I've never heard you knock the Americans
Ah,
as
yeah.
much as you do the Canadians. Not even at
Well,
all.
we've only got to speak to Mike for 5 minutes, and we think we could have a multiple shooter at the tower. So I'm really worried about Mike, and he's an American.
This Mike?
Yeah, Mike.
Oh, what are you worried about?
I'm worried about him being at the bell tower and just saying,
Oh,
like, you know,
yeah, I don't think that's the word. I don't think
you've got fucking
that's
guns.
anything to worry about. Hey, Dino.
Oh, I'm just having a jest, but
There was gunfire the other night.
I'd be gunfire every night. Mike says. Mike probably just lets a few clips off every evening just to make, and he howls at the moon.
No, it looked
Howl!
like the real thing. There were like a bunch of cop cars and everything.
Oh, Mike, don't take offense. Somebody having a fucking laugh. He's not here to defend himself, so he's not. But like, yeah, I like Mike. Yeah, he fucking. Yeah, he's like me. He don't like Canadians. So like, he's my brother from another mother.
Oh, speaking of brothers from other mothers, here's
Oh,
another
Hello.
let's
one.
What's
not
going
go down
on?
the route. Let's not go down that route. We don't
What's
need to
up,
be told.
leg?
What up? What up, Jeffy Jeff?
You have
Good
any
night.
thoughts?
Dude, I don't even know what you're talking about. I just hit a
Oh,
link and
well, I
come up.
think we were talking about Canada and the election, but
Oh,
also
fuck
just
Canada.
politics in general. But
As
you can have
always.
thoughts on anything.
Yeah, fuck Canada.
Oh, gee, that's two. That makes
I like this silence.
Oh, man. Well, all I know is the lobster industry's going to hell, I think. So, I'm coming up with plan B.
What is that gonna be?
well, for the time being, I'm going to work on the boat, but I'm also going to go. My good friends of mine, they own the pizza shop, so I get experience in a kitchen. They were like, "Hey," and I was like, and they were like, "Well, do you want to come?" So after I talked to the wife and we discussed it, I was like, "All right, I guess I'll give it a try. I'll give it a
Going
try."
for
Well,
kitchen duty, are you? Really?
yeah, Street.
That
but
sounds like a great opportunity, and
it'll
welcome
be something different,
Africa.
to
Yeah, it's
do.
Street
Change it
down
up.
because
I'm still
the
working on the
lobster.
boat though. I'm not giving the boat up. That's
So
not
you,
happening.
you just gonna take a second job?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much like if she needs somebody, she's just gonna. I told her just to call me. Like I'm hired, like you know what I mean. But if I gotta go on the boat, all I gotta do is be like, "Hey, I'm going on the boat," and it's
Oh
not a big
man,
deal.
on a boat, a kitchen on a boat, a
No, no,
galley.
no. I'm not working on the kitchen on the boat. I'm talking
The
about
lobsterings.
yeah. I'm talking about like the pizza shop here in town.
Oh,
I'm gonna
cool.
help them out.
All right.
What?
Yeah, you'll learn. Hey, dude, I love making pizza. I love raising dough. It's difficult.
Oh
You need
fuck,
good
dude!
flour, good
Yes, you
yeast,
do.
good sugar. Oh yeah, dude,
I'm
dude,
gonna
yes
stick
you
to the
are.
grill side of things, the grill and
Ah, you
fry
start.
side. Fuck cooking pizzas. Fuck that shit. I'll stick
No,
to the shit
no,
I know.
dude, food is the best, man. Food is
Well, it
like a.
is. Food is the best. I can make
It's
pizzas. I
amazing.
just don't like making pizzas.
Why
Ah,
is the lobster industry going to shit?
I don't know
Yeah,
because
that's
Oh,
it's
I mean, there is no lobsters per se. There is no price for them. Fucking, it's just a lovely. It's going to hell slowly,
do you
but
think
it's going to hell. Every year, it just gets worse.
the
I
stock?
know every fisherman bitches about shit, but
Yeah, but do you think the stocks have collapsed to lobster, or you're not getting enough money for the lobster that you can catch?
I think with the who the fuck knows, honestly. Who I mean,
Yeah.
it
we would
the
know.
lobster price usually dips, but not this soon. Like you know what I mean? It's kind of early for it to dip down.
Yeah. What I'm
Usually
getting
when
at, time you
yeah
put the diesel on the boat and you fucking get her and you got to pay. If it don't cover its face, well, you ain't going to do it, are you? Or are basically you can't find the lobsters anymore. If you know what I mean, you're not getting the numbers to make it pay.
yeah. I mean, so like the other day we had a little over 300 pounds. I think we had 340 pounds. Fuck man,
Yeah.
that's the best we've done in months.
How much? How
So
much is that on the market to you?
I
How
mean,
long would
my bring home, I made $600 bring home.
Is that on this? Yeah, shit. That's not
yeah,
good,
but
is it? Well, how many
how long
days were
was
you out there? Hang on, how many days were you out there?
I wasn't out there any days. I was out there
Oh,
like 8 hours.
that?
oh that's not bad. Oh yeah, because you like running him in. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
Strong man.
Debo.
Yeah, shit, man.
Today,
Yeah,
we were going to
you
go
really strong,
today.
man. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, crap.
We were going to
Yeah,
go today, but it was fucking, it was
yeah,
kind of
man.
snotty
You
outside.
got some fucking rolls.
But fuck me.
Right,
Today, I kind of wish we would have went today because I was going to get to run the boat, like run the boat today. The
how many
captain was
days?
gonna. The captain was gonna switch off with me. Me and him was gonna switch jobs.
Oh,
Daddy was
have
gonna
you?
let you drive today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was gonna let me drive. Yeah. I was like,
Have you
he
driven
was like, because he
before?
was talking to his dad on the phone. He goes, yeah. He goes, he knows how to run the hauler enough, and goes, and he can run the boat. He's done it enough. Now he goes, I feel confident with him to let him run it while I go back to stat trolls. I was like, holy fuck, bud. I go, I guess you do have some faith in me then. Run that
What type of
50-foot
boat?
fucking boat. Huh?
Boat with a steering wheel, then?
Well,
Obviously,
it's
if
a
it's a
lobster
50 footer.
boat. Well, it's like
Lobster boat.
40 with the extension. I guess it's like 45 with the extension on it. So it's not truly
Oh,
Are you one of them?
50,
Are you guys that go on those
but
crazy
close
like crab
enough.
fishing boats?
I'm
I
fucking.
mean,
You
not
go
like
in the choppy waters like the crab fishing.
I mean,
yeah,
we
this.
do, but not that choppy. Like, we're not fucking 20, 30-foot waves. Like,
We're
if there's
looking in.
lobsters going,
Okay, you're
we'll go fish fucking,
In
6, 7, 8 to 10-foot seas,
any
if it's worth
film.
it. But you got to weigh the risk versus the reward.
What the fuck was that film? That's what's coming in my head. Like, they can let me drive the boat. Boats and hoes. And it was like, Will.
Step Brothers.
All I'm thinking of now, yeah, let me drive the boat, and then instantly in my head I'm hearing boats and hoes. Like, it was a funny clip. Someone will know the film.
Yeah, Step Brothers.
Yeah, that's it.
I was thinking about that movie today. That's what
Oh,
movie
that
it
is.
was?
Oh, Step Brothers is. I'll still and watch it now, and I still piss
Yeah, I
myself.
love that movie.
I think Will
Oh,
Beam
Ferrell's
me up,
overrated.
Scotty. I said, beam me up, Scotty.
Not a big Will Ferrell guy myself.
oh, wow. Listen, you're probably instantly.
He's the
That
maniac,
word.
isn't he? They say he's a maniac, a control freak.
Will,
Oh,
Yeah.
he just see. I don't know. I think
I
his
like
comedy
most of his
seems too
stuff.
obvious. It doesn't hit me in like a funny way. It seems like just obvious. Like Norm Macdonald to me is a funny guy. Will Ferrell's
he's
kind of
more
like
subtle.
Will Ferrell's like a Mike Myers, like kind of just obvious.
So
Mike
dropped
Myers
off.
funny too.
He's
Couldn't
funny,
tell
but
you
it's
the
obvious.
last. I don't think he's done any films in the last few years, has he?
Which one?
Will Ferrell. I mean, I haven't heard nothing that he's.
He did a serious. I don't know. He produced some serious transgender film last year or something like
What's
that.
that alien?
What?
Look. I've been
Is
abducted.
that your alien?
I've been
I
abducted.
love it. Look at that wood.
No way.
Good.
Fuck.
Cheers.
Leggy.
Oh man, thank you. It's lovely, man. That's a lovely little cottage.
That was clever.
I know.
So what's all the beef with Canada? Why you guys have a problem with Canada?
I support Canada and my Canadian.
I don't even know why Canada, because Canada.
This dude has a deep-seated beef with Canada from way back.
I don't like. My issue with Canada lies with the fishing rules.
What the
Because
fuck?
they get to do something with their lobsters that y'all don't.
So we all fish what's called the gray zone. So like, but Canada can keep. Well, they don't have a size limit, so they can keep. They can keep pretty much. They can keep the oversized lobsters. They have a minimum size, which is the same as us, but they don't have a maximum size. Us, on the other hand,
Isn't that
we
just,
have a maximum
wait,
size.
isn't that just the First Nations though? That's not the regular fishermen. Isn't that just the Native Americans?
No,
Or
that's
Native
Canada.
whatever, First Nations?
That's Canada in general. Canada in general are
Is
allowed
it?
to
Oh.
keep the oversight. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, fuck. I didn't know that.
But you guys,
We're usually
tank
extra
them.
strict. 9 times out of 10, we're extra strict with that bullshit. But the First Nations.
I mean, really, Maine. Actually, I hate to say it though, Maine is the only state in New England that doesn't allow you to keep the oversized ones. Because like New
Well,
Hampshire,
how are the other ones
Massachusetts.
getting around it?
Well, because it's not a federal law; it's a state law.
Oh, it's a Maine thing more than a United States
so
thing.
it's like I
then
guess I
what the
always
heck,
thought it
man?
was federal, but it's a state thing. But
Why you blaming
still, they
Canada?
fish the same waters as us. So it's like damned if we do, damned if we don't. Something needs to be equal. And we're pushing to be the same as them, like no size limit.
I know.
Well, that's the thing. If you guys won't take them, why are we not allowed to take them? Because so you're saying like since you're not allowed, we shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, exactly. If we're fishing in the same water, only in the same body of water, outside of that gray zone, I don't think it should matter. It's whatever your
But if you're
country
not taking
respects.
If you're
Yeah,
not taking
we don't
it, though,
take
why
it.
not? But then
We
what's the
don't
problem?
take it because we're not allowed to.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying so you would though if you could. You're not doing it
Yeah,
out
of
of
course
moral.
we
You're not
would.
like, oh, it's moral to keep the big one. You're just like, I would do it, but they're allowed. So it's more. Yeah, I would be more if you're principled. Like it's not a good thing to keep the bigger ones, but you're just like, I would do it too. So it's not really a good argument.
I mean, I don't really think it's one of the things. I don't really think it would hurt the population because you're allowed. It's just like punched lobsters, right? So you're not allowed to take. You can take all the males you want as long as they're a legal size.
Yeah.
But on the females, if they're punched, you can't take them. Well, what are you gonna do if you catch all the fucking males and it's just females? How are they gonna populate? You know what I mean?
So are you saying the are we allowed to keep any females, or is there a limit for females for Canada though?
No. I mean, I think that's a good thing. I mean, because you have the VNOT program for the eggs and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that is a good thing because does help with the conservation. But I just think my biggest thing is it just needs to be equal playing ground some way. Either way, I don't really care which way it goes per se.
Yeah.
It just needs to be either
All
they
right.
need to have a size limit in the gray zone, or in the gray zone and the gray zone only, we should be able to keep the oversized ones. So, because no more fishermen are going to fish the gray zone now than they already do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So even
Yeah,
if they do
yeah.
change that law. So
You'll be good. Someone in the chat accused me of I seem like someone who's in the doghouse a lot. That's not
Oh,
true.
that you don't
I just
have
like
a
to hang out with
doghouse.
the dog. I like to hang out with my dog in my little house, but it's out of choice because it's more fun in here. You know what I mean? It's nighttime. You gotta have a beer. It's about the thunderstorm. But no, I'm not in the doghouse out of being in trouble with my family. No.
Oh.
Right, dog.
now, with that being said, Canadians, I got a bunch of family that are Canucks, so it's
Aw,
okay.
see?
So I give them
These are
shit all the time. So
Do
I
they
have a
want to
little
be?
bit
Do
more
they
room
want
to
to be
talk
American?
shit than other people. Well, half of them have dual citizenship anyway, so
Oh, nice.
like all my cousins have dual citizenship. So, and then my aunts. Only ones that don't's my uncles. The ones my
Which
aunts are married to.
citizenship do they like better if they had to pick?
Well, I mean, they're all in Canada, so what's that tell you?
Well, it takes a certain type of person.
Like my aunt just moved to fucking BC, and she says BC's fucking
You
awesome.
guys are chosen liberal again, though.
Yeah, I saw that.
And all liberals again, eh?
Fucking libs
more
one again.
liberalism. Fucking idiots.
Mike, you're wearing the fucking Charlotte Hornet
It wasn't
colors,
me.
bud. The fucking teal and purple. I like it. Oh, is that a table in front of you?
What's up, Michael?
No. Sorry,
You're
my
staying
bad. My eyes are playing tricks on me.
Oh, what is
That's
it? Yeah, I saw
background
the
underneath
same.
it.
Oh, I see.
My bad. The way it was, it looked like Mike was wearing purple and teal, but that's just your
That's the
background.
goat. That's the goat. It does go good
I
with the
get you.
shirt, though.
Anyways, the purple and teal, I kind of rock it because I like the Hornets. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, he's right. Welcome back. We were talking
So,
about lobsters.
You know the Pope's death coincides with some prophecies, right? Yeah, it says the last Pope is the last to the end of the world. It says that.
Yeah.
It was back in the 900s, I
111th
think it
Pope.
came, and then it was like the 1100s, and Nostradamus said it, and then these other three fucking, what were they? Nuns came to the Pope and went, rah, 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 with the same dream from different places, different dioceses. Man, crazy.
Have they picked? They haven't picked the new pope yet, right? Because they were supposed to do that today or tomorrow.
It doesn't start till next month, man. It doesn't.
Oh, okay. I thought
the conclave. It doesn't
So
start.
the way they're in conclave, so the second in charge will take over running the dailies for the Catholic Church. Yeah.
Yeah, conclave comes together at the 15th, I think. They say, and then it's 70 days after they choose a new pope, and that's where it's like, ooh.
There's the most popular candidate possibly is actually an African American pope. He actually might be the first black pope. Yeah.
Yeah, he's based as fuck.
When they say black pope and white, they're talking about something different, right? They're not talking about skin color. They're talking about like there's a term where there's black pope, white pope, and maybe gray pope or something like that. Is that in terms of their background?
No. They mean skin color in this case.
No, I understand.
Historically, you're right, though.
Isn't there a terminology in it, though?
I mean, Ethiopians, had that ordeal as well. Remember that. There's been many a saint that are not white and are not, who gave them that.
I don't mean that, though. I don't mean in terms of skin color.
Exactly. Don't be like that. I don't like that.
It's the Jesuits as contrasted with the rest of the
the Jesuits are the
and
original
the actual Pope, what they call the
Yeah,
white
the
Pope.
ones that say that they.
Is that the black pope?
It would be something of legend because you've never had a black African American pope. You've never, because he's from Africa. I believe he's African. So it would be something very
he's
very
not
different.
Even African American.
He's African. He's completely African.
African, bro.
He's not American.
He's Ghanaian, West Africa.
Yeah.
Dude. This guy's
It would be something. It'd be very interesting if that did happen. I would love it. I would. I'm a Roman Catholic, so whoever the Pope is, I'm going to worship him, whoever he is.
Worship him?
Not worship. You can't worship any man.
Track.
Besides the Christ is dead, so he's not man. Don't worship him.
Give him my allegiance. Give him my allegiance. He's my liege. Yeah.
I couldn't say that in that term because the liege that just died was your liege. You'd go to war with him. You're taking the same stance of that. Now it's okay. Yeah. So don't play games.
It's an interesting time though. The other pope was another from the Philippines. Would be the first Filipino pope. So it's interesting that the diversity of the church now it's prominent now because it was always like some old white guy. So it'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see somebody of a different race lead the Catholic Church. Yeah, which is the most powerful organization in the world.
A black trans pope.
No, you can't be trans, Jeff. You can't. Unfortunately, with the Catholic Church, you actually could not serve in that capacity and be openly gay. You'd have to hide it. You have to hide it.
But you don't have to be gay.
There were many gays in that position. Yeah. I'm sure they've done.
No, openly. You couldn't be. Are there gay men that do serve in the Catholic Church? Yeah, there are. Of course there are. But they can't be open with it. They can't say it out loud. That's all I'm trying to say.
That's a sin, though. That's a sin, directly and indirectly, as you hide yourself to the world. What it means in that regard, and that is any debauchery has always happened between the papillage, isn't it? The cardinals and all that. The way it goes with the church, it's dirty business, and how they make it. I mean, who's the real? You Catholic straight up, and you're not Orthodoxy. There's Orthodox and Catholic and then Protestant. It comes later.
But what's so funny is that the Catholics get so much criticism, but Catholics do the most for humanity. We do the most for humanity.
That's because of expanse, and because I guess, like the Christ would say, and
historically,
said,
you killed the most innocent Christians.
Christ was some other, that the way it would grow, the church would grow under the sort of helm of the Roman Empire, and that became the Byzantine, and that the split, right? And that's where the Orthodoxy starts here, and then later the Holy Roman Empire.
The Catholics went around murdering innocent Christians, murdering innocent women and children because they weren't Catholics, even though they followed Jesus Christ, even though they were Christians and good people. Even if they weren't, the Catholics went around murdering for fucking.
Lenny. So did Satanists and so did Muslims. So did Satanists and Muslims.
Murdering people.
Yes, they murdered people. They ritually murdered people. In rituals. Also, the Muslims were some of the most devious people with beheadings and things like that. So don't single out one religion. All religions have a dark history. We all have a dark history. We all have done horrible things, but we also do good things as well.
Catholics, though, I'm not signaling out Christians.
Expands, of course.
I'm signaling out Catholics. Catholics aren't Christians to me. Catholics are like, they're the devil. They're devil worshiping. They're the ones that are following rituals. They're the ones that aren't praying to Jesus. To me,
this is odd, isn't it? Is that because they, again?
I grew up Catholic. We never worshipped the devil.
No, I know you don't.
No, it's more of a. Well, now you are though. Look,
you don't worship the devil.
Yeah, but this is wait. This was post-Catholic, post-Catholic.
Why do you think why do you think Lutheranism happened? Because of why
there's a lot of the abuses in the church, but
the
and
church
the indulgences is like the tipping point.
Broke away. No, it was always supposed to be this. The 7 churches, look, man, it's coming to fruition.
Dobes, educate us.
Go on.
Well,
you know the Catholics killed your people, Viking man.
And I'm very thankful for that. They brought civilization to my barbaric homeland.
Oh, you fucking sellout! You sellout! You're like the fucking nobles in the fucking France.
You got Christian.
You sell out your Viking men. You are not of the bloodline. You are not of the bloodline.
I can take the best of both sides, but I am.
Shame.
Modern Norway is a product of the Christianization of the Vikings. That is the modern Norway comes about in this trickling down of Christian ideas into the farming life of the Vikings. That doesn't mean we don't have the Viking heritage, but I am very thankful for the Catholic and then Lutheran heritage of my country. Why wouldn't I? They have given my society everything we have, and they have given the world everything it has. Well, not everything it has, but
the Western Foundation is many things, man. Where we come from, the children of, as I see it, we are children of men.
It's
the universe.
It's funny. The more and more people I meet, the more people I analyze people, and I just kind of listen to them, hear them talk. There is such a deep hatred for God. There's such a deep hatred for Jesus.
I haven't heard any of that.
I'm seeing it from all over different kinds of different kinds of people that used to believe in it and they kind of left it. But there's so much anger, and that's why I truly think that we are in the end days. We're in the end days of time. There is so much hatred and so much evil in the world. I'm 50. I've never seen hatred like this. People will go to unbelievable circumstances to hurt you, to demean you, to hurt your family.
It's always been that way.
But what I'm trying to say is I think Satan has actually taken over. I think good is starting to outweigh. Hear me out. I think evil is starting to outweigh good. And that is the beginning of the end of times, when evil takes over, when nobody cares anymore. Nobody gives a crap. That it's just debauchery, nonsense, and horrible things.
What's wrong with debauchery?
Debauchery in your own bedroom is fine. That's completely fine. But I think people are clouding the minds of innocent people. It's transcending into affecting people that wouldn't normally go there, that wouldn't normally be affected by it. It's a psychological game. Satan plays a psychological game with people. He manipulates. He's the master manipulator. Do you agree? He's the
I thought that
master
was you.
manipulator.
The other day, that was you.
Yeah, I mean, Satan was always jealous of our creation, of what we are as humans, right? So falling from that, as yes, you're right. Yeah. But the devil will never win. The devil can never win.
I have no problem with anybody African. I have no problem with anybody worshiping what they want to worship. But all I'm trying to say is, in retrospect, it looks like evil is overtaking good. Innocence has eroded. Like, people have their innocent hearts. It's eroded. It's gone. I feel bad for people like Golbez, like a young guy who has a good heart. I feel bad for someone like that.
Why?
I do.
What do you feel bad about?
Because he's entering a world of horror and disgusting people. Disgusting people. People that want to fight you. People that want to fight you over an internet comment. People that will travel to your home. People that will contact your family. People that will contact. These people are.
No, we're not.
What I'm trying to say is,
this is where this was headed.
What I'm trying to say is that people are sick. They're sick.
I know all that. I know this loop. We're not getting on it.
They're sick.
We're not getting on
Mike,
it.
I mean, Mike, relax, bro. Yeah, all good. I think Dobez is pretty sick. He looks really ill. Gen X, Jeff is proper sick. Larry from Canada. I mean, geez, does he have the coof? I think he might have the coof. Where's the other guy? Shit.
What's the coof, man?
He was spinning in his chair.
Prawn advice. Relax, man. We're cool. Humanity is where it is. It sits in this abyss that we have to live through. We all have to live through it. You can have your vision of what is good and what is right, but the best thing you can do is survive. Don't be afraid. If you're going good, go good.
We will recover.
I'm sure, as it said, to me, Mike, like the good Lord will always.
Well, what's really funny is that
taken when it needed to for me, and it always is a struggle on that. I don't want to, it's always. Life is like,
oh, gee, thanks, and hey, waffle.
And off the medical grade cannabis, that stuff will fuck your head up. So he needs to.
I could get for that.
You don't want the medical stuff; it's garbage.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. Is that what they're plugging into the system right now, aren't they? Jesus.
I listen, Mike. I get his views, but the Satanism and all this. You could say the same about Islam or other religions, couldn't you? Everyone's got their fanatics. So, it's not a lot you can do about that.
I mean, it's not necessarily fanaticism that is always the issue. It's what they are fanatic about. If your fanaticism is casting away your clothes and living like a hermit, that's less of a problem than if your fanaticism is cutting throats.
Down what they've been studying or what they've been told. Like, that's basically, I think, fanaticism. Sorry, I couldn't say it, but a fanatic, they're basically not educated enough to understand people, basically, and the way people interact. Like, just because you've got a religion don't mean you won't interact the same way as humans.
Wait, say that last part again. If you don't have
the human mind can be programmed quite strangely, but it does happen. And you're right. And this is a problem that's always going on right now. We're becoming stupider, and the mechanisms that we're living under are being forgotten. So the thing that happened in Spain right now, Spanish and Portuguese blackout.
Yeah, if it was, it would be simple, but there is no simple fix for this, and all comes back to religion again. But like, we're not all one religion. There's and you're never going to assimilate everybody together on the same page.
Get off the YouTube and get into the church.
That's not the point of that. That doesn't matter. In perpetuity, what it means as a Christian is that we're all saved first and foremost, and we'll all be judged into that term where it
Yeah, but
becomes
you,
too late to go forward.
I'm,
And it doesn't matter. You don't have to
I'm,
follow it. Other
What are we
Catholic
going to be
people say
judged
that
for if we're saved?
if you don't do these things, the sacrament and the
and but what I will say is, there's some radical Christians out there that have got views that you think, Jesus Christ, like I said, I'm not a radical. I'm not a practicing Catholic. I'm yeah, basically, I think it's all bullshit. But like each and every one to himself. I grew up long enough. I'm in my 50s now. I spent enough time with religion to understand how important it is to people. And yet again, I'd still go to a funeral. I still celebrate, or not celebrate, but a funeral, and I want a funeral. So maybe that's a double standard on my part. But I do think there's just as many radical Christians as there are Islamists.
I
yeah,
don't know.
that's why we go to like Muslim parties and blow ourselves up. Yeah, shit. Remind me when that happened again.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not a fan
No,
of
no,
it. I'm
remind
not.
me when that happened again. Tell me. Go on, tell me.
Tell
Why
you
there's
what.
a problem in this country, as in Britain you're talking about, and actually in the Western Foundation, purposely because
Where
of
are
the
you?
way it orientates
Where?
itself. Remember, the Christian churches have separated away from
Yeah.
the powers that be in government and
Where?
law. Litigation in that term is called the rule of law
Yeah.
by Dicey. So don't fuck around here.
Where are you? Where you sound South African? Are you in South Africa?
No, I'm a British subject. I live in Britain.
Oh,
I was born here and I fucking grew up out there. All right. And I
yeah.
saw the violence out there that I came through, and I was a British soldier
So
for Her Majesty Elizabeth II.
what
Yeah, who gives
you
a fuck about that, man? Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
what you see is the biggest problem in the UK from you living here at the moment.
Anything but the fact that we are overpopulated in terms of how we're dealing with it.
You think immigration's a problem?
Yeah, oh my God, yes. This again.
I'm guessing you know a bit about Serco and what's been posted up on the last few days in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
UK.
I know what's going on, man. It's been happening for years.
No, I'm
That
not.
shit's been happening for years in Britain.
I thought you were South African. Sorry, so I apologise. You sound.
No, no,
Is
no,
it
no.
just?
Remember this. You were probably voting to, fuck off the apartheid because the apartheid is a bad thing, right?
No, I don't. I
It
don't.
is. It was because the South African government shouldn't have ever done that. I don't know which one it was, but they wrote it into their fucking constitution. Stupid.
There,
Nevertheless, what happened? No, no, don't worry. I saw the ensuing violence that happened because of the British and the world collapsing that, and I had no idea.
listen,
Also, I
champ.
remember the
Biggest cover-ups in South Africa at the moment. It's a huge cover-up. It didn't get mentioned on mainstream. It didn't get. It's like, yeah,
Why not?
terrible.
Who mentioned it? Where did you hear about it?
I don't have to hear about it. If you look a bit deeper, there's farmers there having a real hard time in South Africa now. Now, I'm not saying they weren't, but they built businesses, hired people. But there's a lot. There's a big what do they call them? Yeah, if you're the Boers or the Boer or something like that. But like it's like now in like what it used to be. It used to be, I
oh, it was
suppose.
affirmative action. So that's what happened, and the way it worked, and the way it was used. Doesn't
Problem
matter.
out
But
there.
it's a decolonization of Africa. Remember, like this, the Portuguese, they were as great as the British in terms of reach, but yet their empire closed down good because they won bread with their people that they went to, and then they just closed it down without any fight. Gave them an argument. No, we'll still trade. The British didn't do that way. It couldn't do it that way. So it had to be collapsed slowly. And the
I think
enterprise
some
is what happens now. Yeah, it's sad, man.
was they're venting now on farmers in South Africa. I think that do produce a lot, but it was some of their people, even going back to Nelson Mandela and Willie Mandela, their wife. They weren't particularly good people. Everyone thinks they were heroes, but they really didn't help the people when it reads to it. It made a good screenshot.
I got a great.
Actually, back.
I got a great question. I got a great question for you guys. When you read, I'm sorry, you're lagging. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. I'll wait.
I guess go ahead.
What do you and I'd love to hear African, but I would love to hear his opinion on this. What about Rhodesia? You guys know about Rhodesia?
Yeah, North Rhodesia, South Rhodesia, Zambia, Zimbabwe.
Where it was what was an all white colony, basically like a white settlement group, like in Africa, and
yeah, the way it worked in through, yeah, it went all the way up to Kenya and stuff. It's unbelievable. It's such a support network. I mean, you know, again, the globalization, even the Africans. Yeah, it was difficult, but really, it got better for everyone. The British were the ones that actually, you know, really, you know, boycotted their own. I don't know why their own. I can't Cecil John Rhodes. They boycotted him. It was their own thing. Oh my God, it's terrible.
but
Weird.
but African people have said that the Rhodesian army, they were some of the best fighters like people ever seen. Like they were just unbelievable fighters.
No, the Wehrmacht. I mean, some of the it was the South Africans were really good. The Zimbabweans with their counterparts, again the Africans, because they were trackers. Yeah, they could go into jungles and carry a lot and be very effective. Very effective. You know, with very small numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny if people talk about nuclear states. I am sure that Africa knows. Do you know at one time South Africa was a nuclear power? Did you guys know that?
South Africa is a nuclear power, and South Africa is the one responsible to give the Israelis their bombs. They came through. That's how
What they had.
They did some in the world. It was like an R&D. I mean, what's going on in the world anyway? It's all R&D, isn't it?
Yeah.
Empires.
And the French, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, African, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't the French help Israel develop their nuclear weapon program? The French actually helped Israel help them develop their nuclear program.
Listen, you get to the bottom of that. The French, the fucking Belgians.
Doing that. I've never heard of that really regard, because the French were never. I don't know, somewhere, but maybe with Mossad, that could be possible.
Jeff, I'm out, man. I'm out, dude. I'm out of here. You guys have a great night. I'm gonna jump to another channel. You guys have an awesome night, man. All right. Yeah, there's too much there's too much negativity in chat. It's too much negativity. So I love you guys. Have a great chat. Take care, man.
Don't do that. Hey, Mike, we're just talking this shit here as fellows. I ain't reading the chat.
No, he's talking about the chat, so who knows?
Yeah.
Not our chat, but the chat.
Yeah, I think the panel's fine.
Sometimes that's lethal, though, isn't it? When you're actually talking on live, you're better off ignoring that and just
That's what we keep saying. Yeah. That's what most of us do.
But it's fun to have a few parallel discussions.
That's what I do.
A few threads in the chat, speak in the panel, and,
Or just silly. Here we're just talking shit.
Somebody's cutting in.
I cannot hear
out.
what you're
Is that
saying.
you?
I'm sorry.
Oh, that might be me. But what I'm
Well,
Oop.
Okay. Was that you, Jeff?
No. He just dropped.
I
think it was African that was cutting in and out.
No. His mic has been.
Oh, that was him. Sigh.
Hello.
Well, anyway, I forgot what we were talking about.
I've been zoning out a bit. I'll be honest. I've just been staring into the void, and then I come back to it, and I decided, I'm gonna keep thinking instead. I mean, it's an interesting discussion. It's just not something that captures my heart, if you will. Not that that's a benchmark for if it's a good discussion or not. It's certainly enjoyable by the panelists, and I presume the chat as well. It just, it isn't. I don't know. So on a completely different topic, what do you think about the Indian Pakistan? Actually, maybe not something political.
Or geopolitical. It's having problems here in Britain.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose for the variety of the channel, it is good for it to not just be geopolitical stuff.
But Dobas, don't you think that the paper dragon is actually coming to fruition? So the paper dragon being China.
You mean China or India?
Yeah, China, yeah, China, the paper dragon. As in what it's always trying to show the world it is. It's now actually coming
paper
to the
tiger.
light. Yeah. No, that's the paper tiger is India, but the tiger is India.
They're both
dragon.
paper, and one's tiger and one's dragon. I get
right,
it.
And the bear's Russia.
The paper bear.
Lion, Europe. Yeah.
Who's Europe?
What's America? What
Lion.
The
eagle.
The eagle. Yeah. The eagle on that. South America. What do you think South America is?
The jaguar.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, he said it. Damn it, there it is. All in that. Yeah, we all know good. Yeah,
I know.
And we're all that, aren't you? You can imagine, like, back in the day, back when we were, like, primeval, right? Our tribes. We were like, oh, shit, just to survive. Would have been like, oh. And here we are having fun. Imagining what's to come, and we're living in here, the mess, the mire of the universe. Funny, man. It wasn't too long ago we were we didn't have electricity.
It's kind of crazy how recent that is, because it's our entire world is less than 300 years old, at least the physical world in a sense. The houses we live in, infrastructure and everything, it's so recent and young. The ideas and the culture and everything is way older. But
don't you think it's talking about that, how Portugal, Spain and half of France, their power just went for nearly 30.
About that.
Crazy, isn't it?
I saw the headline.
Sorry, I didn't realize you talked about it.
I just said nobody was.
No, it's fine.
We could talk about. I don't know what there is to say. I doubt any of us know very much.
Yeah, from what I've seen, some people suggest it was a cyber attack. I'm a bit doubtful, because who would want to risk?
I saw where Spain ruled out a cyber attack in the investigation.
I mean, the likely event that I've seen is that it's two factors that has made the grid especially vulnerable, and then it's just a natural variation that just got a bit too extreme that its net couldn't handle. A natural temperature variation or whatever it was got a bit too extreme.
Remember.
We're now reliant on solar a lot. Big on
Didn't Heathrow just go through that a few weeks ago? Heathrow had that little hit where outside
I'm not British, so I don't know.
Oh no, it affected the world. It affected the world.
It because they got the generators to run Heathrow. They reckon the Portugal thing, they reckon it was what's coming out now. It was blamed on the solar grid that they had that didn't charge its batteries or something, and just the network didn't know what to do. It just all went on a fritz and fucked off, because all of a sudden it expected 13% of the grid, but it didn't get it. So that makes more sense than any fucking weather and all this shit.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Well, the weather impacts the solar.
No. It's the grid he's talking about. The grid itself can't handle. So there was a
because it's old and not adapted to renewable energy, and so they did.
The thing is, with all this net zero and all, all good. But the grid, you're talking about technology that's 3 generations behind the new technology, and
Yeah.
it's just going to pop. It's just going to it ain't going to be compatible. Like eventually, some cunt's going to say, "Oh, we need to build a new grid," and then they'll just charge us more money, and that's what it'll be.
Well, I mean, if the grid and infrastructure is 4 decades old, and energy consumption just increases and increases, yeah, it probably is worth it to expand the grid, and maybe this is the impetus to do so. And
Most people, most people don't know how delicate the electricity grid is, and by that I mean if you actually speak for the margins, we're talking in small percents, almost single digits, not quite. That one thing can fuck up the grid, but they're so used to normal power sources they can. But now you've got new power sources coming into the same grid, and it's like, oh fuck. When they think they got it, they haven't, and I think this is what's happened in Europe. I think it's going to happen a lot more. I think England's going to get it. We'll see. I think the thing with the Americans is they sort of like couldn't give a fuck if it happened. Most of them have got generators, or they sort of prepare because they get bad weather and shit. So they're sort of prepared if the shit hit the fan. But Europe ain't. I guarantee you, Europe would be chaos in 2 days if the electricity didn't go back on.
Yeah, I do agree that Europe has not the best electricity infrastructure in general. Not the best sources, not the best grid itself. It's I suppose at least you've managed to force through a few very detrimental electricity deals on Norway, which stabilizes Britain and Germany and Denmark, because Norway has a lot of hydro, which is way more dynamic than sun, and so hydro can be used to stabilize the grids at the cost of a lot higher prices for us. But Southern Europe has no hydropower, and other than France, it doesn't have any nuclear reactors, and so
Spain, they blew their last nuclear reactor up. Now, nuclear is one of the cleanest energies, believe it or not, because everyone's shit scared of it, but it is. And hydropower, the same. It's easy to do. You make dams. We all got valleys. Why aren't they putting money into hydropower instead of using plant-based land to put solar panels where we need to feed a world? You can't put fucking solar. Well, they can because they're going to do it, but like the land's useless then. Like other than the energy, and it isn't like they're going to say, "Oh yeah, it's free now because we took all your land. We can't feed you fucking lettuce, but we give you free electricity." Well, it fuck, and it's very very scary.
Yeah, although to be fair though, hydro is very location dependent, because you need a lot of water volume to generate a lot of energy. You need a drop as well. Like there's a reason that northern Italy has a lot of hydro, Norway has a lot of hydro, whilst Denmark does not. It depends on the country.
It's about geology. It's about the shape of the land. But if we put our best people, geologists, they would pick places that you wouldn't come on your radar, and they say, "No, we can get so much flow if we do it that way." It's just different ways of looking of making energy, in it. Instead of someone saying, "No, we got 5,000 acres, let's just plaster it in solar panels," which I don't think's a way personally, but I believe solar's got its place, but I don't think it's going to be the game changer that everyone thinks.
I mean, if you build some in Morocco, in the desert, where it's almost never cloudy, of course that's genius. That is probably the best land usage you can have. You cannot farm there, so why wouldn't you put a few solar panels? But in Sweden, in fertile fields and valleys, why would you? There's no reason.
Yeah, but they will come for that instead of putting it on buildings. They will. It's a bit look at the wind turbines, and I'm not saying they don't generate, but it's very influxual, and it comes back to again to the grid. The grid don't like that. The grid likes to be fed. It don't like fluctuations. Now,
Yeah.
fucking go there. There's birds and everything them killed, and I'm
Hang on,
not
hang
saying
on. Dude, you know how the grid works. Do you know how crazy that infrastructure is through Europe? That you're correct in some respect, but I believe the problem is that they had too much power, so they sent it out and it went straight into the grids of Morocco and France, and then grids couldn't handle it, so it kind of echoed it back. They nope,
yeah.
can't do it. And electricity does travel, and the way it does work is you do take it and you can redirect it through this. You know, that's the whole pattern. It does work. That's why
Oh yeah,
humans
yeah,
and they were shut down because of that.
but the grid needed so many ohms or whatever to run, and from what I heard, their renewables, it just the system didn't like it. Full stop, and they couldn't divert nothing. This is what balls them up. They couldn't divert nothing. It was like no, they were beholden to it. Maybe the system don't conjuncture well to that system. And like I said, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe the
No,
solar was
no,
good.
no, no.
The
So,
grid,
so that you're correct. I'm not denying that. The grid can't work on renewables. Ridiculous.
It's complex, but
Well, now there's nothing to fight about.
I just think it's a warning for all of us, though, that like even down to silly crap, like keep a bit of cash in the house. Like people didn't realize the tills wouldn't open; they couldn't pay for stuff if they wanted to, and sometimes these little things just give you a little nudge to think, oh, I just need to think a little bit, just have a little. I call it a little.
What is that, though, Beth?
Oh, that's 100 crowns, so $10 roughly. I just
the gate
have it
money.
because I like the depiction. It's a ship, a long ship, and also it's nice to have cash. Not that I use it up. How many times? Ship, Norges,
English.
bank, 100. Not that
Is that
interesting on the back.
It don't feel very good, that plastic money, though, does it? Like I didn't grow up with that, but these new ones, it's like a polymer, and it's
Yeah,
really weird.
it's more durable. It doesn't
money,
feel like paper, but it's durable.
it's weird. Like when you're used to the old money, and then you got this polymer one. Don't know. It just
Well,
feels
I'm not used to old money. I'm young, so I'm at home with this. This is I think the 2016, I believe.
I wasn't
Is when they
saying you
updated
was.
it.
I wasn't saying you was old, although it looks like you had a very heavy around when you was a youngster. But you don't look that old.
No, but you know what I find annoying? Like a little mild thing that, and it's in regards to inflation, but it's not the actual, you lose value with inflation. It's just the idea that I think it feels more satisfying to buy things in low denominations than high ones. To buy a dinner for $10 just feels better than 100, even though the value is the same. I just like the lower numbers, because I'm legitimately a bit like mildly annoyed that this one gets lower and lower worth. That maybe in 10 years I'll have to use 200 instead, and when I approach my death, maybe a 1,000 krone note will be a normal meal. It's just a mild annoyance.
I'll give you the only advice I can with that is don't put that on your Tinder account, like saying like I like a meal for $10 or £10 or put that on your Tinder. All right,
It's
just a little
interesting
bit.
that you know about that.
Oh, dear me.
Dobez, did you see the show The Vikings?
Is that the one with Ragnar Lothbrok?
Is it? It's a documentary, I'm presuming. like a
I don't.
historical.
Ah, it's a show.
No,
My
it
miss
is the one with the right.
Oh.
It's
supposed to be all right. A bit like Game of
it's
Thrones.
fun. I like it, but it's not exactly the most accurate. You know, the armor, tactics, weapons, tools. Like it's from all over the Middle Ages and not always actual authentic Viking. And the plot and everything, it's that time period and those stories are already very dramatized. You know, the whole story of Ragnar Lothbrok and his children is very. It's basically mythology grounded in some level of reality. We know these people existed, and we know they did something along these lines, but we don't know exactly what they did or who they were and anything. And so, and then the show sort of dramatizes upon that again, and so it's a sort of dramatization of something that's already sort of mythological, and so but it's really good. I did really enjoy it. It's been a long time since I watched it, or probably when I was like 15 or 16 or whatever, but it is good. It's just not accurate to history, and it does capture, I think, the Jeff will know this, but I've said it before that sort of Scandinavian culture, there is this dualistic dynamic between the maritime merchant adventurous person and the stable farming person. That's sort of the two cultural sides of Scandinavia, and this perfectly depicts one side of it, but it's sort of forgotten the whole interior of Scandinavia, because the Vikings, they came from the coastal areas, that they were also deeply interconnected with the interior, the same people, just two sides of the culture. And so the series only depicts one half of Scandinavia, and so it's lacking in a way, but it's still good.
Yeah, they were seafarers. They weren't going to come from the center, were they? They was going to be coastal people.
But that's only one
half of that whole culture.
Of
Yes,
Vikings. And welcome Shift.
Because the Vikings, they weren't sure, they were seafaring, but that's deeply connected with the interior. They're mostly fishermen that go on, that go out to trade, bring back and trade goods with the interior, and there's this back and forth. And it's also once the kings in the early Middle Ages, the levy system of Norway was that you divided Norway into these regions. The coastal regions, they just had to give up like one sailor per household, and interior regions, one soldier per household. And so it is sort of the navy and the army, and so once if the Vikings were going to conquer stuff, they would often recruit from the interior as well. I'm sure that the heathen army that landed certainly more just coastal.
The Vikings went in rapists all over Europe. That's what they did. The Vikings was rapists, really. They raped them.
I don't know if you want to keep on keeping on where this is going, or look, I came up here to talk to you because I've done some homework for us, but it does sort of have to do with this conquering and recruitment, if I may.
The cult thing?
Yes, I have a checklist I wanted to go through with you to see which ones we'd like to apply to our cult.
Oh yeah, we could do it tonight. We could apply it tonight.
I don't know. There's like the conversation about pillaging and other things. If they, I don't want to ruin that. So,
no,
I don't know.
you're not gonna ruin that. What's the what's the items?
Okay, are you ready?
The girl I don't know what she's the beautiful girl out of they're in the bloke out of what's it called? Modern Family. She sounds like the girl out of that, doesn't she? She's got that same accent.
Oh.
This is my real voice. Okay. Okay, you ready? Okay, tell me Tell me if the mic goes out because I got to go on a different screen. Okay. So this is part of the checklist, and let me know which ones. Keep note of which ones we want to apply. Ready?
Sure.
Okay. So, do we want our cult to be focused on a living leader or leaders? Because, high five, to whom members seem to display excessively zealous,
Ooh, no, that sounds
unquestioning
gross to
commitment.
me.
Who zealous does?
All of that.
What? You don't want there to be an unquestioning
You
rule?
want
Like,
all of that? I wonder if there's a way to give it to you, but not to me. See, we're already
the
having creative
unquestioning part?
differences. Huh?
I
Yeah,
know,
all
that's
of
why
it.
we have to go through this. That's what we need to
Yeah.
do. So you
We're only at
you
the
are
first
okay,
item.
okay, okay,
We
okay.
might need
Well,
our own
we'll put
separate stream for this.
okay, yeah, I know. Okay, let's move on. Okay, the second thing, our cult is going to be preoccupied. There's a couple preoccupidos with bringing in new members, right? That's important,
Okay.
right? Recruitment. Are we good
Sure, I
with that?
guess. I thought it would just
What?
like recruit itself. It would be so cool. Everybody would want to be in
Oh,
there.
like when your money makes money. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we have to also be preoccupied with making money? Question mark.
Ooh.
Is that
Well,
part of it?
don't the members give the money?
Okay. All right. So this one, I don't know how you're gonna feel because we're off to such a shady, shady start. Okay. Here's the next one: questioning, doubt, and dissent are discouraged or even punished.
No, I love that. I think that's all healthy, but not in a
Okay.
cult, probably. I
Okay.
want a
So
cult
then,
where you can do. We're gonna innovate. I want a cult where you can do all of that.
oh gosh, well here we go. Let's go through the checklist, even though I feel like you're not gonna like this because it starts off with mind numbing techniques.
Oh God, no. Oh.
Okay, fine. Oh, gosh, they're used to suppress doubts.
I'm trying to do the opposite. Their minds are already
Okay,
numb.
fine.
I'm trying to
Okay.
stimulate them into activity.
Okay, all right. So cross that one out. Let's see. The leadership dictates someone in great detail. Wait. Dictates sometimes in great detail how members should think, act. You're not gonna like this. Think, act, and feel.
No,
Okay.
it's not for me. It was her idea to begin with. It's for both. She wants to start a cult.
What? This
Her
was
and
a
I to
group
start a cult.
effort.
I
You
keep
know what?
forgetting that I'm even a cult leader. So it came from
Okay.
her.
What the? This is an us
I'm
thing.
getting
Stop it.
dragged into it. Huh?
Can you hear me? It's an us thing. Okay. Wait.
Oh,
So how
okay.
do you feel about this? The group is elitist.
Oh yes.
Okay. Claiming a special exalted status for itself and the leaders
That
and
seems
members.
so cliche, like so overdone.
So
That doesn't
look, they have an
that doesn't stand
example.
out as a cult. All the cults are doing that.
Okay, you're right. We have to be in the
Well,
OG. So we won't have a special mission like to save humanity, which is the example that
Oh
they gave.
God, you can't say no. There's nothing you can do for
Okay,
humanity.
I'm going through the checklist, bruh. For
All
fuck's
right,
sake. Okay, so let's see. The group has a polarized us versus them mentality.
I think
Like,
that's bad.
well, the cult versus society, because we're the best.
Yeah, that's good. That kind of. I don't even want to be in my own cult.
This is bullshit, Jeff. This is fucked up.
Well,
We're supposed united front, dude. What the heck?
I guess we're
They're
not.
they're gonna
That's
sense
good.
your vulnerability, and it's gonna be like that T-Rex like touching the gate, when finding out that the power's off. Um. Okay, what about the group's leaders not accountable to any authorities? You gotta like that one.
No, I do. I believe with that. I believe in freedom and personal responsibility. So you have to, if you're going to be the leader, you have to take accountability for what you're leading and the
What
decisions you
about this
make.
is the finale one? The leadership induces guilt feelings in members in order to control
Oh
them.
God, this is the mental health channel. No.
This is a gay bar for straight men channel. The fuck? All right, I need
What's
a different
mentally
checklist.
unhealthy about that?
Whatever. I tried to get Dolbez to fucking help Zephyr with cat names
He
because
did.
all she wanted to know,
Oh,
she only
well,
wanted his
that's
suggestion.
that's beneath him, I guess. He has better things to do with his time.
Rude. All right, it's a work in progress, everybody. So pending, cult updates.
A cult update.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's a
Well, we need to figure
revolutionary
out how real cults do it
situation.
when the leaders
Well,
can't be on the same page, because that
what
seems
I
very
find though,
essential.
Jeff,
Huh?
is that you cannot be a cult leader because you are rejecting all the things that separate a cult from a social club. You know, like without all those early points she made, it's just a social club. It's not a cult. It's just a social
Yeah,
club.
you're
That's
right.
it.
You'd make a much better cult leader than I would.
Oh, I
I
would.
know.
I
I
don't
know,
have
So
an
100%. Look
Shift, you
how
should
cool.
team up with
He's so cool.
Dobez. He'd
I
make
mean, maybe you fucking squash your bullshit social club fuckery. Yeah, you have to have this
I don't know. Social
differentiation.
clubs are hard to squash because I think they meet a genuine need that cults don't.
No, because you'll just be sitting there in your little
So
hippie
I will
circle,
put my
all like,
social
I don't care
club
what
up
you
against
do.
y'all's cult any day.
Wow. See, well, maybe my cult will be anti you because fuck this noise is how I feel right now.
At least I gotta wait until I'm what 25, 30 until I start a cult because I'm not sure in my beliefs yet. I gotta be more sure so I can.
I don't think cult leaders are sure. There's no requirement that they be sure. I don't think they're
This
No,
is
just
some
bullshitting everyone
bullshit.
anyway. What do you mean? Be sure in your beliefs.
I want there to. If I'm gonna be a cult leader, it's gonna be a cult that has its unifying goals and has a hierarchical structure, but for the benefit of all, benefit of mankind.
How do you know what benefits me?
He's in
I
there.
don't know, but that is kind of on the checklist, that one about like saving humanity. So I kind of feel like we have like evil
See, I
genius in
told
the
y'all
making
would be
here.
much
Yeah.
better cult leaders together.
You're too passive for this. You would just let the cult run you. And that's not how you do it. You have to be willing to take the
I'm not
reins.
authoritarian. I don't like telling people what to do. I want them to decide all that for themselves because they know
No, you have to have
themselves
like
better
a
than I
dress
do.
code and shit and like a salute. You know what I mean?
No,
A
why,
secret
people need to
handshake.
dress themselves. I don't want to have to be dressing grown people.
But Jeff, imagine like it is cool to have a uniform. To just you got to put on the pointy hat. Wait, no, that's
No,
you got to put on
Vito.
the ring. Let's say that's a better example.
No.
Just put on the golden ring with all these weird symbols. Out in the wild, you just see someone and just, it's me. It's a
No, it's
fellow
just good
member.
for photos. You know what I mean? If we have like a color scheme, like some sort of symmetry amongst us all, it just looks nice for the Christmas card or for the cult miss card.
I look forward to the time when Masonic cults give out Christmas cards. The Freemasons of America send out Christmas cards to all. Just
They
Happy
do.
Christmas.
They
Like the
do.
Easter
They're all
seal
like,
people.
Brother Solomon, here's his updates, and he's taking pottery courses now. Whatever, y'all. You don't know anything about
You've
cults. I'm
gotten
sorry.
one?
Whatever. Don't question my authority. That's rule number one.
Oh. See, I make a bad member too. Like I don't even
You're
think
terrible.
any
No doubt.
yeah, I don't think me and any kind of cults belong together.
You're just like, yeah, you're like kind of like a thorn in this whole situation, Jeff.
No, you're not. You're thinking too. You're close-minded. You need
You
to
know
open up
what?
your mind. Jeff is very useful for a cult because he will instinctually reject it, and the cult can then use him as a mechanism to weed out anyone not willing to submit.
Oh my
He is
gosh,
the
Jeff, you could be the
perfect
plant.
Rorschach test or whatever for the
The
cult
what? The
members.
plant?
I think Jeff is kind of just like, if he was there, he'd be the dude that people would look at to see, like, if he starts to panic, then they know to panic because he's just being like super chill. Like, I think that it would be really helpful. But yeah, so we'll keep, I don't know. You're not out of this yet, Jeff.
Well, we'll see.
Says me.
But I see the potential in it. I'm starting to see the potential in it. As long as I'm not
Yeah.
involved, I think it has better potential.
Also, though, why would I, if I'm going to make a cult, why would I talk about it in public? The allure of having a cult is that it's secret. It's a mystery. It's mysterious.
I don't know. Is that on the checklist?
It should be, because if it's completely open, then it's
No, because
just
recruitment is really important. So you want to be able to tell people about it.
You
Why
need
you got
little
something to hide?
pamphlets and little tracts
depends.
and little
Depends.
video
This
propaganda
is we're not
movies
trying to
and
start
everything.
Fight Club. This goes back to your original argument of social club versus super duper dope ass cult. You want to keep your super duper dope ass cult totally secret? Good luck with the recruitment process. Although, if I send out a bunch of robots to recruit that are programmed to behave like Jeff, it might work. I'm not sure because they'll just be like, it's super, whatever. I'll just be all nonchalant about it, and people might have a magnetic force. I'm not sure, but
You can
I,
do it person by person.
I wouldn't send me out for
just
magnetism.
personally recruit. Recruit your friends and then make them go and recruit their friends and only pick
I've
out
tried
those who
that so
do it.
many times. The last 5 years, actually, it doesn't work.
Maybe that's a you problem.
oh
It might
damn, that
be,
was such a sick
but
burn.
try
Dude.
it
That
with
was
your
a sick
friends.
burn. What if we did like the
Well,
Girl
I
Scout
am
route
usually
and
able
made
to convince
cookies?
my friends.
I think if we sell cookies, that might be a good way to get them hooked on it. Fucking, we sugarcoat some things literally and metaphorically and figuratively, all the leads, and yeah, make them beg. And we should have a fucking list where again you have to like wait to join. So like we create like that supply and demand thing where we're like,
Like
ooh,
fake,
we're
fake
Full
demand.
scarcity.
yes, he gets it. Good for you.
Except
I'm
for
putting
there's
you on the
only
list.
2 people, but you can make it seem like there's a waiting list.
Yeah.
It seems like there's more going on. If you're the founder, you can create a history. If it's a mysterious cult that not many people know about, you can just create a
No one
history.
can know.
Maybe okay, you probably
They're
not
not
with
gonna
one person.
question
That's
anyway.
two folds. But if you have a group of 3 or 4 friends, why not? Why not manufacture some history that our fathers did this and their fathers and their fathers, and it started in 1829 or 1834 during the Schleswig-Holstein War. They were in the trenches and they had these visions and they wrote it down. Now they have the secrets of the universe and they promise to pass it on to the kids. Whatever,
See
you
how
can
good you
just
did this?
manufacture stuff. And so long as you don't manufacture too outlandish things,
Wait. So you
people
don't
cannot
suggest we
dispute
do
them.
you don't think we should do the like Romeo and Michelle high school reunion thing and just tell people we invented post-it notes and shit like that? Just be like, oh, I see that you like blue jeans,
No,
that came from.
that's not a cult. You can't build a cult on post notes. I think you should go more like the H.P. Lovecraft route
It has
and
to
have extra
be
dimensional entities.
elusive. It has to be mysterious. It
Yeah,
has to be underground.
and
I
cosmic.
like
And
the
it
word elusive.
has
You
only
had me at
hints
elusive.
about it in reality. Like, for example, all your friends buy the same designed ring, and that's it, and then people, maybe over time, they will notice that these people are somehow connected. They all have the same design, and then it pops out a bit more, and other stuff. Maybe you rent out this apartment and you leave um,
A miasma.
a trail of crumbs that connects that to the rings and then to the people, and then people are like, what is going on? What is this? But if you just go out there and open that, we have a cult, please join us, that won't work. They need to feel like they're discovering something. Like, you need to think about
You have to
this on
fool
how to
them and
make
trick
people.
them so they don't think it's a
Yes,
cult.
like, how do people believe in conspiracy theories? If you come at them with the full theory in the beginning,
You need a
they don't
flower,
believe
like
that.
in Airplane, where they try to hand them that little flower.
Oh yeah, you need to start really low, instead of starting with
Petal by petal.
we are just a reincarnating turtle, instead of saying that that's
Wow.
reality, you got to start, well, maybe reincarnation is real, and if we're human, why can't we be animals? And maybe our individual reincarnation
He's
is
too good
higher
at this,
level, and
actually.
then you step 1 through 10, and then finally on the initiation, you have them themselves give you their thesis that you have built the crumbs, they always arrive at your position, and you can sort of enter them in. That congratulations, you discovered the truth, and they will feel so accomplished that they now accept that truth that you push to them.
That's so
as their own.
manipulative and disingenuous.
Oh yeah, but this is a cult. If we're gonna design
Yeah, but
something,
there's lemon squares. Did you not see? We have lemon squares going for us now.
Lemon Squares doesn't make up for all the deception and chicanery.
See, this
that you
is
have
when
to
like
engage
you
in
get sent into
to keep
like
this
the
thing
orange
going.
room, and we fucking shame you for this. Like, but you know,
Shame me for what? I don't have shame. You could try. What happens in this orange room?
we
wanna
it's
practice?
kind of like that part, you know, where we sit around the and we're like one of us, one of us.
I would
you
just
know?
laugh at you because you seem so ridiculous saying that, doing that.
How dare? Okay, demerit. You
It's
gotta
not
demerit.
shame. Shame
Here's
is
the
not the
thing.
emotion I'm feeling right now.
This is the first thing
Shame
that,
for
like,
you.
here's Jeff. You know what? You just lost your clipboard privilege, because that's the most important thing of a cult leader, is to have a fucking clipboard. You know, so you could tick
I don't use clipboard.
certain things.
I keep my clipboard in here.
This is such bullshit, bro. This is such bullshit. Demerit.
I'm not sure I'm even in it anymore.
No, that's the thing. You're like brainwashing. No, you're in it more than
I think
ever.
that I'll
You're
help.
in it more than
I'll
ever.
mentor and coach and consult. But I
What?
think
You're a
you and
cult consultant?
Gomez are a much better match to actually start the cult, and I could just be like guidance here and there.
I already know who I'm gonna make a cult with. If it happens.
This is such this is
Oh, he's already planned
this
this.
is humiliating.
We
Yeah,
already
this is
talked
fucked up. This is such a bullshit. This is bro code. What the fuck? Also, Jeff, you're forgetting that a big component of our cult was going to be the sex component of it, and so again, like,
Well, look, Apocalypse
we
has
never
you
got
covered.
there.
Because I didn't realize that he already
I don't
had a sex
appreciate
cult.
this. I don't. I don't appreciate this. This public. No, you know what? This might be good, because then people could switch sides, and then when we come back together and form an even stronger cult.
But I don't think he I don't think he has anybody. What is
No,
this sex
you.
cult?
Oh
Who's
my
in it?
gosh. There's a waiting list. Whatever. This is bullshit. There's so much negativity here. I can't even.
Well, you are free to go find less negativity elsewhere.
No, I was joking. I'm staying here for forever because my drugs are in your drawer. Okay, well,
Very true. Very true.
Oh wait, here's the question, unrelated to all this, but so I just watched this short before I got here because somebody wanted to ruin my day. You know, like the sandwich shop Subway,
Yeah,
or
I
like
used to
it's a
work
sandwich
there.
shop. Oh, you did?
Uh-huh,
You were a
for like
sandwich
a
artist.
couple of weeks. I was a sandwich artist.
So this dude went there and he fucking like basically ordered everything on there. And first of all, it was only like $50 for everything. But here's my question: can you mix steak and tuna, or is that like?
I don't eat. Oh God, no! I don't
If
even
you
eat
put
tuna at
everything, you put
all.
all
I
the
would
meats
mix it with
and
anything.
tuna.
You can mix it because people do all kind of weird shit, but it's not something I would mix.
You know what I ate today? I ate tacos,
Tuna.
but with pulled pork instead of minced meat.
Oh, yum! That sounds
It is
great.
really good.
That sounds awesome.
It was even a taco pulled pork. Like it had like taco spices in it already. So it was delicious, but it was expensive. But
Like
that
a crunchy
felt
taco.
wrong when making it, and then when I took the first bite, it just felt divine.
Was it a crunchy taco or a soft taco?
Soft.
Oh, okay.
Although I'm sure that my definition of taco is different because Norway has adapted that quite to itself. So our taco is different from what you'd find in Americas, in Mexico, or whatever. But oh, I do eat herring banana pudding. I do. I have a jar of mustard pickled herring in my fridge. I bought it for Easter because it's traditional Swedish Easter dish. It's good, but it's just like 1 or 2 pieces at a time, no more. But it is good, but it's not a full dish. Like if someone sits there with a jar and just eats and eats and eats like that is requires a will so strong they could conquer a country, but just a piece or two, that's good. That is good. That is delicious.
Do you think there's a world record for how much, like, the most herring being eaten in one sitting?
There's probably a record. I don't know what it is, but I'd imagine it's thousands of calories. If you can eat it, if you like it, and you can eat multiple pieces without it being too much, then what's going to stop you from just eating till your stomach is full? If you can get past that hurdle, then there's nothing really stopping you from filling your stomach. 10,000 calories, maybe. 10 jars, probably.
Wait, I have a question. Do you put cheese on your tacos?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Cheese,
Cool.
carrots, a bit of onion. What else? Sometimes salad. Not here though, because my friend doesn't like cabbage. Yeah. You also have taco sauce, which I don't really know what it is. It just says taco sauce, and so it's good. It's like a tomato thing. I don't know what it actually is, but yeah. And to you.
Do you like spicy food?
What did you say?
Do you like spicy? I heard you talk about spices, but do you like spicy, like hot food?
I like spicy food up to the extent that it burns out my tongue. So long as the spice doesn't, fuck up my tongue, then it's good. But the moment it starts to be so much that I can't taste actual taste, when it's just my tongue burning, that is not pleasant at all. Like, why would I enjoy that? But when it's sort of there's a bit of heat to it, that's good. But the moment, all I'm tasting is a burning, then that's just not good. But a bit of heat, I like that.
Speaking of that, I have a question for you, if you don't mind me ask you a personal question.
Yeah, go on.
I'm going to. Do you really want to dance with somebody? Do you want to feel the heat with somebody? Question mark.
Possibly in the future, although that's not my prime concern. I'm a horrible dancer, actually. I have no rhythm in my body.
That's good. The rhythm is gonna get you. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, I lost my chance at getting it. I'm
what do you mean?
Old for the TikTok I'm too old for the TikTok generation, and so I didn't grow up. I'm just dancing, that's not me.
Oh, and look at you! You got moves. That was moves.
I'm also not. I didn't do any heavy sports as my kid, so I didn't really, whilst I'm not unhealthy, I'm not, I don't have fine control to an extreme extent over my body. It's much easier for an athlete to learn to dance than it is for a normal person, because an athlete has so fine control over the body that they can just, oh yeah, I need to move this one muscle in the shoulder. Yeah, fine. I can distinguish between that, and so I certainly lost out on that. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, I'll be honest.
I want you to know that I have complete faith in you, that if you wanted to be a dancer, I bet you could. I believe in you. Mm-hmm.
That takes time I'm not willing to spend.
You were a dancer. Welcome, Untrackable.
Yes, good to see everybody.
Yeah, I don't think I have either, IG.
Fish and chips is good. Legitimately.
Only nobody says
wow. Rude.
Let's go get some fish and chips.
Well, I remember when I was 6 or 7, I was on vacation to London. Only time I visited London. And, just can we get fish and chips? I was so excited, and it was delicious. And I have it from time to time, or I had when I live at home. I haven't made it yet after moving out, but we had it from time to time. It's good. It is legitimately good, although I don't know much more British foods. So maybe there's a lot of good stuff. I don't know. I've only
There's
had
not.
fish and chips that I know is British. I do know that there's probably a lot of similarities, given that we, as Scandinavians, controlled Britain for like 3 centuries in the north there. So there's probably a lot of similarities, and people do complain about Germanic food in general. It's so boring. I love it. I
It's
find it
bland.
delicious. Who wouldn't like a few meatballs, some brown
mashed
sauce, and
peas and
potatoes?
potatoes.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's delicious. And the best part is, like oh, that's actually a fun fact. Do you know that Norway eats the most frozen pizza per capita? Like, we eat more pizza
What?
than
I
Italy
challenge this.
or
I
America.
Wow.
challenge this. I don't know. I consume not for sorry. I'm just very passionate about pizza.
Pizza is delicious. I do agree. But like, we
Yeah.
eat
Oh, maybe
so
it's a
much.
pizza cult. Pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza in our fucking cult.
I do have to limit myself though, because it's kind of
Delicious.
diabolical, because the stores, they
Mm.
give out sales on certain pizza brands like at least once a week. So every week there will be a pizza brand that is on sale, and I'm like tempted to eat it, but I shouldn't eat it once a week. It should be rarer than that. Once a week is a bit too unhealthy. So maybe every other week, but it is really tempting when you don't really want to cook. And so you just buy it, throw it in the oven, and it's legitimately delicious. I know people trash on frozen pizza, and it is certainly worse than homemade pizza or restaurant pizza, but it's not bad. It is delicious. It's just that restaurant pizza is even more delicious. But when it's so easy, so delicious,
Mm.
why wouldn't I buy that every day? And so it's
Dolbez,
legitimately a struggle to just
Dolbez, do you
no,
think there's a way to make pizza soup?
huh?
Do you think there's a way to convert it to some sort of soup format?
I do.
Possibility does not mean necessity. You just because you can doesn't mean you should. That
What if it was
is
like
not.
what if it was like soup with the roof, like pizza pot pie? Untrackable thoughts?
I mean, you can take a concept of, the common ingredients, bread, tomato sauce, cheese, and you could most definitely turn that into a soup. You could most definitely turn that into a pie. Um, Almost like, I mean, if you think about, what is it, like the calzone? The calzone
Oh,
it's a special thing. It's got its own name, right? But it's basically just like a doubled over pizza that was baked while it was folded in half.
speaking of though, pies are delicious. Pie is just. I think pie is legitimately my favorite food. Just a good pie, like ham and cheese. That's it. A ham and cheese Swedish pie. Mm,
Mm.
so good. It's sad that it's so expensive. I don't have the expertise or time to do it homemade, and the pre-made variants in Norway are way too expensive. They're like triple the price of pizza per gram, and so it's not worth it at all. But in Sweden, it's super cheap. It's all over the place, and so but
Wait,
it's
where are
actually.
you? Where where are you? You're not in
I
Sweden?
am.
Or you're in
I'm
Norway? What
half
part?
Swedish though. I live in Norway,
Okay.
but I'm half Swedish, and so we go to Sweden a lot. But currently,
Okay.
I'm living in the old capital of the country.
Ah.
Uh,
Well, okay, my question is this. Do you have any are there any super cool vending machine options? Do you have anything that's like an oddity that comes in a vending machine or something that's like
I'm not
super
used
cool?
to vending machines, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
That there are some on like the trains, but they are rarely used, and when they are used, it's just normal stuff you can find in a grocery store. Just normal packs of crisps or chips. I don't know which dialects. I say chips, but some dialects say crisps. I think it doesn't matter. Chocolate, whatever. But there's nothing that's uniquely a vending machine. The vending machine is basically an extinct species in Norway, relegated to one environment, which is the trains.
Yeah.
There's something that's pretty popular over here in vending machines, especially in workplaces, is the packaged honey bun. The swirl with all the icing on it.
Yeah, that cinnamon roll thing.
Yeah,
and if you can get
there's
one of
the
those for a
Wait,
dollar,
the regular one? I heard there's different flavors. Somebody was telling me about a chocolate honey bun.
They're huge.
Do you know about those on Trackable, or are you just talking about the basic white icing one?
well, I was talking about like just your basic honey bun, but I've seen damn near every flavor of everything, so I'm a bit spoiled in that respect. But as far as what's common, people are trying to sell stuff, and flavors, if you have too many options, can be a turnoff. So it's like, hey, do you want the Snickers bar? Do you want the crackers with the cheese in the middle, or do you want this honey bun? You know what I mean? Keep it simple. You got chocolate, you got, your bread and cheese, and then you've got this swirl of just pure sugar.
delicious though. I mean,
I want the
pastries in
crackers
general
with the
are
cheese in the
so good. Like pastries are like amazing, the best dessert. But somehow it's more difficult to sort of justify to myself to buy a pastry, even though it's probably healthier than a Snickers bar. It's just that it feels more unhealthy. Like this is something dedicated unhealthy, whilst the bar of chocolate is just a casual thing. But like pastries, all
Hey,
kinds.
Jeff.
To be honest.
Hey, Jeff.
That you said it feels more healthy to get the chocolate than the honey bun. That it's almost like your cult of having no pleasure will will deny you from getting that ultimately delicious thing, because it's like, oh,
Yeah.
this feels unhealthy, but I'm gonna love it if I get it. You know what I mean?
Right now, the limiter is money, though. I am a student, and so even though I could probably handle a bit of unhealthiness, I am a student, and it costs money. And when when a single pastry is like 20% of my daily food budget,
Whoa.
do I really want to do that? Is that a wise thing to do? Like every other day, that in the long run, I save a lot of time by just not buying the pastries. And
Hey, Jeff, do you think our cult, which you're definitely supportive, should have a continental breakfast offering?
An offering gives people an option. And I don't know
I
if
thought you were
cult
into.
members should.
You're
I
very
think the
good.
less options you give them, the better.
So we're just like, you're getting a granola bar, bitch.
Yeah,
Okay, got it. Let me write that down. See, we're
that's
getting
how we
somewhere.
do it.
Okay, cool.
Well, I mean, that's what the Catholics do, right? You go, you stand up,
Get
you
up
stand
here.
up, you sit down, you kneel. You stand up, you sit down, you kneel. You stand up, you sit down, you kneel. You eat the cookie, you drink the wine. You stand up and sit down and kneel some more, and then it's like, okay, go watch football.
There's no football in our cult. What's a scoly bowly? I'm sure that's not how you say it, but what's a skull bowl? Bole?
it's a pastry. It's I think it's either Danish or Norwegian pastry. Let me just.
How do you say it? Well, how do you say that word?
Skolebolle or skolebrød. It's two words. Like it depends on.
School
Some say
bread.
skolebolle, so the
Skole
school
bole?
one, and some say the skolebrød, which is school bread.
Skole bole? Okay.
It's just called school bread in
It's
English.
this.
Apparently, it's a delicious pastry.
What's
It
in the
is.
middle? Cream?
It's honey. Not
It's like
honey. What am I
mustard.
saying? It's egg.
Honey?
It's
Oh,
egg
egg?
cream.
Ew.
It looks like an egg.
Why?
yeah, it's delicious, and I
Oh,
think
okay.
it's also probably a bit of indoctrination because it's my father's favorite pastry. So every time we went on father-son
Speaking of treats.
adventures, you could say, you know, he would always buy one of those or two of those, and we'd share it together. Or if we're gonna
That's
go
so
for a cycling
sweet.
trip, you know, he'll bring it, and now it's still my favorite, and it's
Oh
so
my gosh,
delicious. I'm
that's
gonna do the same thing
adorable.
with my son.
I'm gonna do that to Colt. We're gonna like have picnics together and they're established. Yeah, that's a good idea. Good, thank you.
Yeah, and it is legitimately good though. You should try it. It shouldn't be that difficult to find, I suppose,
They have it at
because it
Epcot.
is. I mean, oh yeah, exactly. I don't know what that is, but just the
It's part
idea
of
of someone
Disney
trying that
World.
who's not Norwegian is, yeah. That's according to Wikipedia at least it is a Norwegian invented sweet roll. It is a Norwegian invented pastry. So you know, we do make our stuff. We have invented some stuff at least. I
Hey,
find
Jen.
that a lot. Oh yeah, you can talk.
No, I just wanted to find out if he had a certain genre that like our cult anthem would be in.
I thought we're switching your collaborator to Dobaz.
I don't like that you're
No,
trying to get out of this, so
no.
you're now like you're like patient number
No,
one or
it's
whatever.
like one of
Zero.
those cults you can't leave.
Yeah, you can't. You're in it. So now I'm trying to, appease you, and I'm trying to include you in this, but also like you're in trouble. So I just thought I'd extend
I
an
don't get it. I'm
invitation
not
to.
in trouble with my own cult.
That's what you think. Demerit. I got a clipboard.
No.
Hey, it's blood in, blood out. You don't quit nothing around
Well,
here.
Untrackable gets it. Untrackable. Will you be security?
Oh my God, that's wild.
What was the question? A theme song?
Yeah, like our anthem. When
We
like
need
they're like,
our own pimp music, like in
that's what
that
I'm
movie.
saying. Oh, so pimp is the genre you're going
Yeah,
for. Okay, so I heard that down.
the pimp band.
All right, I like it. Okay, I'm gonna take my notes. I'm gonna go run the numbers and stuff like that. I'm gonna have my people, our people call our people. Okay, I'm gonna jot down. Thanks for your input, guys. Okay, bye.
Take care.
Wait,
And
All
so we
right.
had a 30-minute cult creation session, huh? Cult crafting.
Cult crafting with
yeah, and I think a lot of what
outliers.
she was doing was it was subversive. So she was participating in the conversations while she was be like, "Oh, this will be nice for the cult." That's okay though.
Yeah. I mean, if you have something you want to talk about, then talk. And
Yeah.
so
Well,
long as
speaking of,
nobody.
what's up, Trax?
Well, I'm doing good. I hope everybody else is as well. Living life,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so far.
Yeah. Life is good, although it is getting stressful. Because my exams are going to begin soon. I think in 6 days is the first exam. Then it's 10 days to the next. But then it's real soon to the one after that again.
and I think I think maybe that's what's so beautiful about life is when you're going down the course that you're going down, you know, there are people that don't get to choose their own course anymore, and you're starting out and you're choosing your course of life the way you want to handle it. And like you said, oh, it gets stressful. Well, yeah, it's going to be stressful. It's going to be painful. Some things are going to be very expensive, and some things will be very unpleasant along the way. But when you get to choose your own path, um, it- you should automatically forgive what is about to come to you when the time comes. And you can go through classes and get an education. You can have mentors that will prepare you for the pain that is to come. And that's what makes it beautiful. The absolute choice is what makes life beautiful in
Oh
a
yeah,
snippet.
completely. Although I don't think that's the entirety of it. I think there's more that makes life beautiful, but your own agency is certainly part of that natural beauty of life. And you know, I go down paths that I didn't have to. I know that it's almost completely random that I am on the humanities side and not the STEM side, because I was a STEM kid, as a kid. I wanted to be an inventor. I drew up buildings, inventions. How to capture lightning, whatever. I was fascinated by chemistry and geology and whatever. Probably a bit due to my father pushing for that, for sure. Then I sort of got addicted to a few video games which were historical, and I was just pulled down into the humanities side, and I've never left, and that's just completely random that sort of entry caught my interest at that time. And so maybe I would have been a STEM kid in an alternate reality. I would have definitely not been here in that case, but maybe, who knows.
It's
Agency
important.
is beautiful.
Yeah, and it's important with that agency. Like, you get to create your own box. So, like you said, you were a STEM kid, right? Um, was it science, technology, something
Yeah,
else?
something like that.
Engineering, mathematics.
Yeah.
Engineering and mathematics, yes. So, the dimensions of the box that you are going to create that will be your life. You also get to fill it, you get to remodel it because you came from STEM. So you can allow so much more in. Whereas people that draw their box very early and it comes from a superficial stance, they're more or less gonna, their life is more likely to look like a blob rolling down the street, just picking up whatever and discarding whatever, rather than
Right.
being able to have a solid structure and allow other things in, and rebuild your box as you so fit.
I do think there's also a beauty to a life that's lived in the moment, where you have no universal structure ever. You just take it as it comes and you just let your intuitions drive you. I think there's a certain allure to that as well. Although I certainly find myself in the middle ground between a sort of planned structure to life and a more intuitive side, because I have a direction, but I have nothing more than that. I'm living life on instinct. It's not as if I'm thinking many years ahead, but I am thinking about the general path I'll walk. And so there's definitely the balance there. And I think the preferred balance is very much up to personality. Now, some people do just prefer things to be a bit more stable and certain, and so they will be more thoughtful in their behaviors and life, and other people will just, not care, and they'll just take it as it comes. I don't know what you are, though. Did you plan out life? Did it go as planned, or, did you just take it as it comes?
I did really good in schoolwork when I was young, and I learned to build a structure to get the schoolwork done, even though I didn't really care too much about the knowledge. I just wanted to get out of school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I joined the physical world, and it turned me into something else. But there's the building of the mind and the building of the body, and when you find yourself in situations that are coming to you just so randomly, like I didn't choose this situation. However, I understand math, physics to a certain degree. you know, talking about the translation of where it fits in this instance, and then also the humanities of it. And it's like, hey, this next decision, it needs to be done mathematically. However, the effects are going to have consequences that are more than just a wrong math answer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Although, naturally, I haven't lived life that much to be able to comment on a lot of matters in anything more than just intellectually, because that's actually something I noticed recently, and then looking back, I saw the signs, back in time as well, in that I have changed so much in qualitative ways. The way I think is changing by me maturing and sort of becoming an adult. And I think in pure brain power, I'm not that much smart. I am smarter than I was 2 years ago, but I'm not that much smarter. But in terms of the way I think it's radically different. There's just something about actually moving out, getting into real life that changes the way you think. And it's something I didn't expect, because I'd already sort of intellectualized life. And I do think I have a decent grasp of life intellectually, but that's nothing compared to actually experiencing it and understanding it in that way. But I thought that it would be just something that fills out the gaps. Now that I'm sort of entering out of life, I see that maybe there's more than just a quantitative increase. Maybe there is something unique about these experiences that I can't just intellectualize.
They'll make sense as you get older and then look back.
Oh yeah.
And because you'll see more of the pattern by then, and then they'll start to fit into place. Do you I forgot my question. Hang on.
Do you
It'll come back. What were you talking about?
quantitative changes in thinking, my maturation? I am smarter than I was 2 years ago. University, adult life. No. Okay, I can give an example though of what I mean.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Trackball?
I was going to say, you also mentioned, the taking of from the transition from where you are now to.
Oh, I know what I was. It was
step
do you
outside.
notice a difference between how you interact on YouTube or in the panelverse versus how you interact with people in real life? Did that how did that play into this change or this development, if any at all?
The main difference in thinking I see now than before is that I'm able to, like, this sounds bad, but I am just 19. 2 years ago I was a kid, and I legitimately could only sort of think long term intellectually. And I mean, like, anything beyond like 1 or 2 years was purely an intellectual exercise. Like, for example, with elections or whatever, that feels like, oh, it has to happen now. If it can't happen in 4 years, then we're lost. Like, it gotta happen now or whatever. But now that I'm older, I'm gonna live till I'm like 80 or 90. I can think long term. I sort of had that realization that I'm actually gonna live for a long time. Why am I restricting myself in only thinking in terms of like months and years when I can be thinking in terms of decades? And so that's something that just unlocked. Like, I'm now thinking in terms of my entire 20s. That is sort of in a way that I just, for some reason, I could intellectually understand it, but it's interesting. Like, that's just something my brain just didn't do like two or 3 years ago. It just didn't. But in terms of how I act on a panel verse, it is, and in reality, I suppose, it is very conscious in the sense that I sort of consciously put the borders on the behavior. You know, what sort of behavior will I present here? But then within those borders, it's completely free and intuitive and natural. It's not as if I'm planning every single sentence, but I do have some, you know, this is the image I want to present to this panel, and I'll act within that. And that image is different. It's more thought through, more careful, more curated, if
Well,
you
how
can
would
say.
you be if we like just ran into you walking around Norway?
Depends. I consider you a friend, and so I'd be much more open. I would be wilder, more energetic and enthusiastic. I've heard people have said that I seem possessed from time to time. Like I act as if I'm possessed when I get really into something.
That's just that
And
excitability, that mania that you talked
oh
about,
yeah,
which I
it
think is a
is.
good
But I
thing.
do dampen that down on panel
Oh,
because
what, really? That's
oh
the
yeah, for
dampened
sure.
version?
Yes, it is the heavily dampened version. You
Oh,
have
Lord,
not
I don't
seen
think you
me.
should dampen it at all.
I think I shall,
I,
because
I,
I have an image to present, and this is. I'm not saying this is actually important to reality, but this is a good training area on how, you know, on sort
to
of
like practice.
restraining and presenting a better image for when it actually matters in reality. It's not as if I am
Okay, but
scared.
do you have an outlet or a means to get all of that out some kind of way,
Oh
even if
yeah,
it's
for
not
sure
on
with
panel?
friends. Yeah, for sure with friends. Like
Okay.
that with friends, I am much more sure. There's always something that is kept inside here, but with friends, I am I allow myself to actually be possessed, if you can think, because I sometimes feel like I am possessed by an idea.
Yeah.
If I have sometimes I have such interesting ideas, they just sort of my entire reality just focuses around that for like a few hours, you know, and and I can, you know, I have no qualms about being like that around my friends, but I do care about my image, and this is public, and I want to present that. You know, I am a representative of my people. I am a representative of Norway, of
Technically
Europe
true.
at large, and you know, that comes with a few duties. I'd say it is my duty to present my best face to the outside world, and that is, I think, it's very beneficial for
That's not
society
hard
at
to do
large.
around here.
I know, but I do think I'm doing a good job at least.
You are.
I don't think people will come off with a bad image of me. They might be annoyed at me. They might find me a bit pretentious, a bit snobbish, but you know, that is just people misinterpreting me or me being a bad communicator. You know, I won't say all the fault is on their side. I certainly come off as a
Well, you've
know-it-all at
admitted to being
times.
snobbish.
Yeah, well, a bit of that is hyperbolic, but there is a truth to it. There is truth to it, but you know, I
Well, don't lead out into the world with thinking that you're a know-it-all. Just know that you come from some place where you were taught some things and you have some opinions on things. But on Panelverse life, you not, and this isn't about you. It's about people in general. It's like some people want to win in a simple conversation, and it's like, well, you know, competitiveness is also part of nature. So it's like, hey, when you go to work, just know that you're there to work. If somebody brings up geopolitics or religion or even sports, I've probably seen more fights at work over sports. than people saying, the current events of the day, if you will, the
Oh yeah, for
global
sure.
events. It's like, man, hey, I came here to work. I say hi to people when I pass them, and then I mind my own business and I do my work. Now, I do have congenial conversations with people every once in a while, especially about sports or, something crazy happened in the news. Did you guys see, what happened here, there, or the other? But, you get 2 minutes to shoot the shit. And I don't care if you spouted your opinion from the top of your lungs. Hey, it was nice to talk to you. We both still have jobs. Now I got to go to work. But people, these you've seen them. They're viral videos of people getting in fights at work. It's viral videos of people getting fights in the middle of the street because somebody said, "Hey, what do you feel about X, Y, or Z? Abortion, religion, politics. Who'd you vote for?" People get violent over
My
that
God,
shit, and
who
it's
are
like,
these
hey,
crazy people? That's not normal.
it's wild, man.
It's
Hey,
not
if
normal,
you're
but it's
doing
normal
you,
enough that it can.
if you're doing you, uh, keep doing it.
Not if it involves attacking other people.
That is fair, Jeff. That is fair. So, I think, if you want to strike up a conversation on geopolitics in public, you can probably pick out which people you shouldn't approach. You know, it.
You said something that was good. You said it in the chat earlier, and I thought that was a very good thing. It was like, I'm not going to sit here and get deep. It's not verbatim, but you basically said, I'm not going to sit here and get deep with somebody that I don't know can do it fairly. I think you said vetted, like a vetted
Oh yeah.
debater, or yes, a vetted
Yes.
conversation. Like I'm not going to go there with somebody that's going to wind up getting mad at me or violent with me or something like that. I think
If I
that's
know
what you
they
meant.
cannot handle that topic, I won't broach the topic because that'll just be me needlessly sparking arguments and aggression.
But how do you
If
know
I
what they
know,
can handle ahead of time until you broach it?
well, you learn. You learn.
Oh,
For example, I would never, like with Mike, I wouldn't go too far into a debate on Catholicism because that is important to him, and it's not something I'm willing to do. Or a lot of conversation about Israel. A lot of stuff. Now, but of course, I'm now mainly referencing politics and whatever. But there are just certain topics that I will not get
And
into
it,
with certain people.
it doesn't even necessarily have to be topic. It's the certain things that you do in your life too. Like
Yeah,
some people won't drink alcohol or they won't smoke their marijuana around other people. Certain people that they know could become their trigger or something like that. Or I'm not I'm not gonna ride in the car with this person, even though I consider them a friend. It's like I don't trust you driving.
I've had those friends.
yeah.
It doesn't mean that you don't value the person, but there will always be some sort of disconnect. So it's like, hey, I can talk to this person all day long. I can drink on a Friday night when we don't got nothing to do tomorrow, and blah blah blah. But the moment I bring up whatever it is, X, Y, or Z, um, I know the moment I have an opinion about it and I speak in front of this person, it's about to be on.
Exactly. Exactly right. And I mean, that's sort of inherent in having friendships as well, because except for maybe a soulmate, there will always be things that you just do not have in common, that you cannot uh, syncretize or whatever. There will always be something that you're just not compatible in that sense. And that's fine. And I think it's the sign of of I think it's the sign of someone with low social competence if they do not see that some things are if they do not see that some people are not compatible in certain ways. If you
Oh,
know that with
so
these
yeah,
friends, yeah,
and I said the word trigger. So where was it your words that triggered them, or was it their listening that
yeah,
created the trigger?
The
So
trigger is inside of
it's
them.
yeah.
a
Well, Jeff,
two-way
Welcome
yeah,
to
it's
street.
two-way.
You want
We cannot hear you.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt. I'm just saying I'm going to be good.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
I think it got a little misunderstanding when I left before. I didn't want to disrespect your channel because I felt like I couldn't behave myself, if the standards were so high. But I think I can be good.
that's good.
Okay. That would help. That'll definitely help.
It'll help.
Help you, help the channel.
Cool.
Oh, it's good to see you,
So
Bradley.
do your
Good to see you.
best.
It's good to see you too. I was thinking about your name, Untrackable. Does that mean in the woods? Like people can't track you through the woods? Because I watch a lot of shows where they're like, "Oh, we gotta track this," like Lost and Walking Dead. You can track this person. We gotta track this person. Or do you
Are
mean
any
like
of them
through
untrackable?
or it could mean like through the internet or something.
That's what I took. That's what I took
Or
it
is
as.
it
Is
a
you can't
profile
find
picture?
them on the
Because it
internet.
has a car that's not on a track.
Oh, like off-road racing. All right.
That's what I'm
No,
thinking.
this is a 1992 model Dodge Viper RT, and it was designed with it's got the side pipes on it.
Ooh.
Well, they designed it in a way that it's an excellent model. It looks really good. It rolls like nobody's business. However, the side pipes scrape the orange track that Hot Wheels provides.
The troubles we have.
So it became the ultimate failure. I mean, I have plenty of cars that can't take a turn. I have plenty of cars that bounce all over the place. But this one, just as it is, it just goes, eh. Even with all the you could put this thing on a 90-degree, it'll go, And so when I joined YouTube, it's like, hey, create a name. It's a gamer tag, if you will, for me. And so I was like, you know what? This thing goes damn near everywhere with me. This is a keepsake for me. It's like a lucky charm.
Oh.
And when you find something, it's like, hey, you're unique. You handle business and you're beautiful, but you don't stay between the lines. Like it just causes friction, and that can be a metaphor for life in and of itself. So it's like, yeah, I'm big, I'm beautiful, I'm bearded, I'm all the bees.
Oh, get your
But I've never done really good staying between the lines. You know what I mean?
Or in the track. So that was not one of that. I would never guess that in a million years. Untrackable meant a Matchbox car that can't stay on the track. I would never guess that. Untrackable. That car he's holding, untrackable. You put it on one of those things that have you ever see those the spinny circles that make your car go zoom? I forget what they're called.
That's
but
part of the track.
Yeah. It was like the power station or whatever. Like these fucking like.
I remember the little people had a gas station and
Oh,
like a
yeah.
parking garage
That's
gas
a
station
little
combo,
younger.
and they had a little thing that would spin them to their parking spot.
Oh, not the whole track spin, but like on the side of the track, there are these two little wheels. I don't know if they're rubber or something.
Oh, I know
when
what you
your
mean.
car went through it, it went zoom. It zoomed it off.
Oh, to make them speed up.
So you can I think they're called boosters or something like that.
Yeah.
But you can start with gravity, and about you time your track length according to where you notice you're losing momentum, and then you have a booster, which is just like Bradley described, it's two wheels on both sides that just yeet your car.
Yeet, yeet.
It's battery operated toys. So it's like when physics fails, buy some batteries. I don't know what to tell you.
Your batteries fail.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do with my Matchbox car. Yeet. That's what he does now. He makes a weird noise
Hey,
before he
Moose.
says yeet.
What's up?
What's up, smoke and mirrors? I'd like to see an actual trick done with literal smoke and mirrors.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what they said. That's what that saying's from. Magic tricks used to be done with smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, isn't it that the trick where you saw a person in half? Like that's done with a mirror and whatever. I think it is. And just
maybe the
blow a bit of
magician
smoke.
smokes
Just
while he does it.
Hey, I'm sorry to self-promote, but I do love Hot Wheels. They're my favorite toy ever. I got my daughter into them, and I will say that I don't have many videos, but if you want to see what I actually did with Hot Wheels, you can check out my channel.
Hey, yeah, let me
I
put it in
actually-
the descriptions, but let me find it on YouTube.
Yeah, I
Jeff
wanna
is
see
such a
that.
nice host. The moment someone plugs the channel, he just let me get your channel. Let me get
Because
your
I
link.
I
Let me
keep
post in the
forgetting to
chat.
put people's channels in. And
I think I have
I'm
a
glad
good
to be
Matchbox
reminded.
car.
I
Let me
love
go
promoting.
go find it.
Like building
I think I know where it
Like
is.
that.
Maybe I don't know what
I have nothing here. I have no toys. I have scissors. That's what I have. I have a pen. Sunglasses.
Oh, man.
I have The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli.
I think it's upstairs, but I have the old Dukes of Hazzard Matchbox car, and
I hope
it's
this
kind of
is the
worn
right
out, but you
channel. I
can
don't
still
see
see
any
the.
videos on it, but this is the one I have.
I don't think they sell it anymore, but you can still see the Confederate flag on the top of the Dukes of Hazzard car. I got the Matchbox car, yeah.
We
But
had
I
one
think it's
growing up.
upstairs. I don't want to go
The
get
dude
it.
with the flag on it.
Yeah,
We didn't
I
think
thought I had
anything
it
of
down
it.
here. What?
We didn't think anything of it.
Oh,
We never once thought of race or black people or anything.
it's the state flag of Georgia.
Oh, is it still?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
didn't know that.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay,
But-
my bad.
but
It
what
was
I will
during
say
Matlock time. Remember when Matlock was on?
What I will say this about
They brought her
the
back.
Dukes,
She's a
the
female.
Dukes
She's a
of
woman now.
Hazzard was okay. You've got the Confederate South. I think it's the battle flag is what they would fly it as. But you look at these guys that are straight up criminals, but they made it funny. Like moonshining, it's against the law.
Oh,
Just like Smokey and the Bandit. Like, hey, they had to go to Texas to get the beer to bring it to the place where it's illegal to have the beer.
ooh.
When you're talking about outlaws,
Not to be confused with
and
outliers.
the idea of criminality to circumvent the government, to circumvent taxes, to get what you can is sellable to the people who will buy it. I don't know how more American that is.
Oh yeah. Was this in Smokey and the Bandit where he goes in a restaurant and he's like, I want a Dr. Pepper and a Diablo sandwich and make it snappy. I'm in a goddamn hurry. I want a hush puppy. It's doing with her. We got the time for a hush
How did
puppy.
you have that loaded into your brain that easily?
This is a favorite line from it. I want a
Oh.
Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper and I'm in a goddamn hurry. Make it snappy. I want to say that to a rest for.
By the
to a
way, guys,
fucking
I'm gonna
waitress.
leave now. It's
Oh no!
it's soon 3 a.m. in 10
Oh
minutes.
Lord, yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
totally understand. Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
understand. And it's a school night. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Well, I
good to
have
see
nothing
you.
tomorrow, so but yeah. Good
We'll
night,
see you.
and
We'll see you next
see
time.
you
We see you.
maybe some other time in a week, whenever you stream early. Good night.
Yeah.
I'm glad I could make you smile. Have a good night.
Take care.
He's a nice dude. He always laughs at the dumb things I say, so I like that.
That's what qualifies.
Yeah.
I laugh when they're funny.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they are.
Thank you. I try, trying to be good too. I'm working blue. No, wait, no. Is it the opposite? No, you don't work blue. I can't remember.
What does
Well, I
work blue
mean,
mean?
elite people always laugh at the poor. You know what I'm saying?
Do they? Like not to our face.
I mean, every piece of media I've ever seen, it's like, oh, hey, he's trying to be funny. He got a job. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, they do like the.
They don't know what they're missing.
I think that's a part of like trolling or something, don't you think? Like they just try to anything to try to push your buttons or trigger you. But
Yeah, it's like a
it's not
status thing.
real.
It's status.
Yeah.
Like games.
They still got their problems and all. It's not real. You can't believe that. Oh, ha, ha, I'm better than you. Are you? Are you so happy? I don't think so. I'm happy.
Oh, I can see from many facets of life that so much becomes some sort of type of dick measuring contest. And it's like, oh, how much money do you make? Oh, well, what field do you work in? Or, what's your wife look like? Or why is your kid so bad? Or, what type of house do you live in? It's like, come on, man. It's like, is everything? I mean, if you want to be better, go ahead and be better. I'm sure there's somebody that's going to look down on you the same way you're looking down on me. I'm not saying this about Dolbez. I'm just saying this about the certain types of people that you meet out there, and some of them are down for whatever, and some of them will look at you like, "Why are you talking to me right now?"
I have a saying that I made up myself, and it goes like this: "Judge not, yet yeet be judged." I wasn't gonna do the yeet, but
I'm not sure what Mr. P's saying here, but good
Master
evening.
P.
When it's access, it's an issue. Like, what does that mean? Not letting people on panel?
I don't know. You're not letting people on panel. You let me on panel.
I think I'm pretty generous about but I do have some some limits I've learned to set over time with experience with specific people.
YouTube's pretty touchy. I mean, if you want to keep your shit on YouTube, I understand that. I don't know what the fucking their shit changes all the time. What you can say and what you can't say. So you got to use those words like unalive. It's so stupid. I hate that. It's supposed to be freedom of speech. I can understand there are rules to freedom of speech.
This channel is not a free speech zone.
Yeah,
it's a dictatorship.
But America, YouTube is dictatorship, but it should be freedom of speech.
So is this. So
it's in America.
This channel.
Yeah. No.
But I try to I support free speech. It's a primary value of mine, so I try to keep it as free as possible.
There are rules to free speech, and I think people are violating them a lot. And they don't understand that. They think free speech is making death threats and all that kind of shit. You can't do that. That's not covered by freedom of speech, and people say that shit all the time.
Yeah, but then you have to go through the process to get any kind of resolution to it, and nobody's gonna tie their life up doing that.
No. But I don't know. That's what people use that as protection. Oh, it's freedom of speech. It's not. You're saying shit that's not. Inciting violence is not protected by freedom of speech. So if you're saying anything that causes violence, there you go.
There's something to be said there too, and that is nobody's going to shut your mouth physically.
Well, yeah.
However, when you go on certain channels, the channels that you go on, not you, but because I go to many channels as well. Some people won't allow a single curse word. I have played late night trivia games with an old lady that runs her channel, and you know, if it slips, she gave me the respect, because I got to know her. But I made, it's like talking to your mom or your dad, or some the preacher at church. It's like, hey, I have a foul mouth. However, I recognize where I am, and those slips, they get recognized by the person in control. However, they may give you an acceptance, a bit of forgiveness.
Well, yeah.
Because of the context.
Yeah,
Where
you didn't need to.
If you just go everywhere you want to go and spout out, without really feeling the room, reading the room, getting an understanding of what goes on in a certain place, you will very quickly find yourself not being allowed there anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I do a karaoke show, and
some people make you take your shoes off before they come into your house.
I know. I only
Does
did it
that mean you don't want to come into my house, or are you going to take your shoes off? It depends.
Slippers. Bring some slippers with me. But I do a karaoke show with a girl, and she doesn't like goddamn. So I mean, I can say I sung some raunchy songs on her channel. She just doesn't like goddamn. No, I don't say it.
Oh, you don't?
I try not to. If it's in a song, I'll change it to gosh darn or something like that.
How many songs is it in? Do you find?
I do like this song. What is it? Wish we were young, or when we were young, or something like that. And he says, it's in that song. So it's in a lot of songs. God damn. I'm trying to think of another one. Oh fuck. I did a Bloodhound Gang song, and it's called Hell Yeah. And it says, "Can you pry these goddamn nails out? They're beginning to hurt." And I got to change it to "pry these gosh." But it kind of sucks to change it there because the whole song is about God. So it kind of, but you got to do it. You got to do it.
And welcome,
hey,
Jax.
Yeah. Jack's closing his door.
And Browns, are you here today?
Browns boy.
Can you hear?
You're welcome.
Mostly, I think, kind of. There might be a little buzz.
You can hear me?
I think so. Yeah,
That
I heard
buzzing
that.
noise. That might be my cat snoring. You hear a buzzing noise.
I heard you say, "Can you hear me?"
Yeah, he's.
My sound working?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Jax.
Wait, who said that? Jack, you said that. What about Brown's? Oh, Brown's boy's muted.
I heard him for a second. Talk again?
Nope.
Yeah, he's on mute.
It was
Yeah, I can hear that. Well, I guess he'll pop in
Yo,
when he has
yo,
something
yo.
to say.
Yo.
It sounds like we can hear.
What it is.
Am I here or am I here?
I don't know.
I think you're here.
Physically?
We'll find out how long you last.
Who knows?
But while you're here, why don't you say what you wanted to say?
What do you want to say?
Yeah, I think I'm here.
Oh, you're here already.
Can you hear us?
Who's that, me?
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
So what brings you here?
I mean, I didn't have anything in particular to say. I just wanted to...
Okay.
I actually just wanted to see if it would work, and then...
Is this a new phone?
That was basically it.
Oh. Is this a new phone?
No. Is it working well, though?
Yeah, so far it's decent. We can hear you.
There's no camera, though.
So you can hang out if you want and see how long it keeps you on, and just jump in when you hear something.
Yeah, I was hoping. I was like, oh, if it works, I'm like, maybe if, the longer I stay on, maybe it'll just like build a connection, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I hope so. That's what we try to do.
We got Bradley, Untrackable, and Jack and Jeff.
I gotta get some water.
Oh, yeah. Jax, what's up?
Nothing, man. Same old shit, different day.
Oh.
I'm
Are you Jack's Law?
Yeah. I'm working on cabinets today, and
Oh,
I don't want
I
to do
banned
it.
you once
So
in a
I'm hanging out
chat.
here.
What, in this chat?
For making cabinets?
No.
Oh.
No, I
made
thought he was
cabinets today?
Neurojack. I thought he was Neuro. Oh, sorry.
No, this
Go
is
ahead.
No,
another
just Jack.
different Jacks.
There's lots of Jacks out there, like the Jack from
Right.
Lost. Mm-hmm. Did you find your dead dad on an island
Go
somewhere?
ahead, Jack. I want to hear about the cabinets. Go ahead, Jack.
No. That's the whole point. Is I don't want to do that, so I'm here.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Cool.
The cat had
Yeah.
kittens.
Your cat had some kittens?
Yeah, so there's kittens everywhere.
Well, Jack, I'm
Everywhere.
sorry for
kittens just everywhere.
Don't step on them.
Oh, you're not kidding. There are kittens everywhere. Wow. How
Got
old is it?
I don't know, like maybe a month or something.
Couple
Hard to say.
minutes.
Oh, okay. I thought like a few hours.
It's like a cup of coffee.
I think they grow about a pound per month for the first like few months,
Oh.
or for the first 2 months they grow about a pound per month. So if they're like 2 pounds, then they could get spayed and neutered.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're just cats that were born here and they just don't leave. So seems like a lot of work.
Well, yeah, they don't leave.
Are you feeding them
Well, you know,
manually from your nipple, or
when there's not enough food, they'll
Remember that movie,
find their own.
Little Fockers?
Yeah.
Wasn't he feeding the cat with his nipple? Oh, no, yeah, that's from that movie.
No, we didn't. We watched different movies.
Little Fockers, or Meet the Fockers.
Meet
you know.
the Fockers. With
Dude,
Ben
that's like the
Stiller?
funniest scene. He's like, you milk the cat.
I mean, maybe it needs to be milked. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't find it
Would
very
be
funny.
it.
I
don't know. I've had cats. I've never had to milk them.
Oh. I have had cats. I didn't need to milk them, but you know.
You did.
Yeah.
Anyway, for fun. Just for fun.
Wow. Yeah. Have you ever seen kittens being born? Have you ever seen the whole process happen for kittens?
What I jerk off to.
If that's what you.
I'm sure I have.
I remember it when I was a child, and I swear I remember them being born in the placenta sac, and then the cat needing to eat that shit.
She ate the
You know,
cat?
they have to piece of shit around them to get.
Oh,
to get
yeah,
them
because
out.
they come out all like slimy.
Oh, gooey. They
and
got
their
to clean
fur is
them off.
wet. And I think they lick all that off.
To give them a
I
bath.
watched these being born, and it was a different process from what I remember as a child.
Oh.
Which is interesting.
Humans used to have to do that.
Yeah, did they?
But then they invented a towel.
Do you think it's Mandela?
Hmm?
Do you think you got Mandela?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, it was a
Because
long
I
time
think the
ago,
same
and
thing. What you described is what I think
I don't believe in the
also
Mandela.
happens.
I watched these kittens being born, and they were born with this little tiny steak. I swear to God, it looked like a little fucking steak attached to their umbilical cord. You know, there was no sac, there was no nothing. It was just, it was. I'm pretty sure I'd have fucking remembered if that's what it was.
T-bone?
It was weird.
A steak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's like this little
T-bone or
piece of meat.
did you grill it up? Was it like filet?
No, I didn't try it.
Hang on. There's a joke here. Hang on. I can't say. What's that very expensive kind of meat? It comes in very small.
Kobe.
No, filet mignon. I can't say it.
Oh yeah, filet mignon.
But now I want to change it to. What's the word for a cat? Filet mignon. No, that's not. Oh, the F word for a cat. What is a cat?
Feline.
Feline mignon. Yes.
There you go.
Feline mignon.
I'd eat it.
If I could have thought of that quick, it would have been so.
See,
good.
those jokes you could stick around for. That's the kind of shit you're capable of.
It's a horrible thing. It's horrible. No one should eat feline.
No, I'm going to be laughing about that tomorrow at work.
Oh my god! Ask somebody if they want to come over. I'm making feline mignon. See if they make a face.
Wonder how much you could sell it for if it was good. You know what I mean? Like, if
I don't think you could sell cat. You mean like actual cat? I think there's laws against that. You can't sell cat or dog in this country, no matter how good it is. But I'm
you gotta make you gotta make the title a little more marketable. So instead of being all culinary with the feline mignon, you just got to call it pussy meat for sale.
Yeah. Oh.
Pussy steak.
I don't know. I was gonna eat some pussy meat. You want to eat some pussy meat? Come on down to Big Red Steakhouse and eat some pussy meat. Oh yeah, that's great. I want to do that. I'll eat some pussy meat. It smells like fish though.
Bradley, were you here when Dolbez was talking about control? And controlling himself.
No, I missed that.
Oh, okay. Because
That sounds like sarcasm.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I think he's got that same problem.
But I thought that was
trying to
interesting
fight.
about the cat with the steak.
Hey
around
Jack, were you around when Bradley said he was going to be good?
No.
Well, he told a much better joke. The joke improved, certainly.
Well,
yes, I'm being
Bradley's on his own kind of drugs.
Just talking about
and
cat
like
meat.
you just can't. You got to let them play out the way they play.
Oh no.
I mean, I love the joke, but the talking about control.
I mean,
I keep my noose very close to me.
News or noose?
My noose.
What does that mean?
To keep quiet, you got. You can't talk with the noose on. I don't know. You could use a gag. Probably work better as a gag if you used a gag, because a noose is kind of dangerous. Noose.
Maybe that's my type of humor. I apologize.
I know. I love it. I love it.
I didn't get
like
it. That's all.
It'll keep you quiet. If that's I get it. You can't talk if you got a noose on. I get it. Doesn't work. Okay, I don't know if I should. Do you think a noose is racist? I guess that's out there in the public that nooses are racist.
No, like didn't cowboys use it? They were in the Western movies and stuff.
Yeah.
On other white.
But then I guess a lot more people used it for bad things against black people.
I
mean, do you think more nooses were used for a racist agenda, or were more nooses used for criminal behavior?
Probably criminal behavior, because that was definitely a big death sentence, because they didn't have anything else back in the day, and there was sure a lot of criminals, I'm guessing. So I think it's that.
I think we should stop hanging them or electrocuting them or cutting their heads off, whatever the fuck we're going to do, and start giving them to medical science so we can save all the mice.
There was actually someone who had the choice and chose to be hung. It was either hung or something, or like firing squad, because there was recently, like during this time, there was a problem with the injection. You know how people get when they get the death
The
sentence,
lethal injection.
the lethal injection. There was complications to that, to where they were literally like drowning for 20 minutes. And it got out. So they're like, no, I don't want to do this. So like, okay, we'll bring back the I don't think it was hanging. I think it was the firing squad.
Well, I'll say this: when it comes to the medications, no, when it comes to the executions, I hope it was well deserved. I hope there was no failure in the judiciary and the sentencing and whatnot. However, if you 100% red on your hands and all that need to get it, I don't care how long it takes. Now, I personally, I would rather be strangled to death, because again, you don't trust the drugs, and if you take a firing squad, it still takes until your brain activity and your blood bleeds out. Should they even be halfway good shots?
Aren't they aiming for your heart, not your brain?
But when you choke out the blood to the brain, you go unconscious, and then you just keep choking, and you never come back.
Yeah.
It takes about 7 seconds.
But
and
that's
now the being dropped, they talk about it. Oh, it breaks the neck and it does all this stuff.
It's not supposed to choke you.
But I mean, I've seen the videos of decapitation, and the slower, the more painful. The faster, the cleaner. That head's still walking around doing chin walking.
Watch, it goes like this. Cut the head off. It goes like this.
It does chin walking. So yeah, you can hang me for if I deserve it.
They hung me in 75, but I am still alive. The bastards hung me in 65. Highwaymen, come on. I was a dam builder. Come on, highwaymen. Come on, people.
It's okay.
Maybe I'll be a single drop of rain, or maybe I'll be a highwayman again. I believe in that. Who knows what happens? Who knows? But I do believe in people, that there's a lot of people on this earth, and if you're bad, we got no room for you. That's how I feel. I'm very sorry about that, but if you're proven 100% bad, and I think it's not hard to prove, most people that commit horrendous, am I saying that right? Horrendous, yeah, crimes. There you go. I have no problem with that. I used to think every life is sacred, until I learned there's too many lives, and they're not sacred. Well, man, they're definitely sacred lives, but some not. Terrible, terrible people out there, folks. Let me tell you. I won't tell you what they did, but I'll tell you what should happen to them. They should die, and they should burn in hell, and they deserve it. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
One person's, fucking. You're either hero or you're the villain. It depends on where you're standing, man. But it doesn't depend on what you're doing.
Yeah. Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Welcome to it.
Dave Chappelle, anybody? Yeah, I used to not believe in the death penalty. But now I believe that there is no change. People don't change.
Well, the death penalty doesn't help You know what I mean? Like, you talk about what you know. Jesus Christ, I cut his head off and still walks around, right? That's what Intractables is words. But you were the one that pointed it out. And that shit clearly is not stopping anyone from committing the crimes, right?
No, yes, it does.
Does it?
Well, if there's a murderer, a serial killer, and you chop his head off, I don't think he can commit serial killers anymore.
When they fucking kill a man, it's not to stop him then, it's to stop other people from doing it later.
No, to stop him.
Yeah, man, you can throw him in jail. You still stop them.
You can't stop other
Throw him
people.
in prison. You can throw him in a room. You can hook his balls up to jumper cables or whatever the fuck gets you off.
Oh,
whatever evens the scale.
I saw that on
killing. That's for everyone else.
Sure.
I mean, there's other ways that don't involve death. I am not for them.
No, you're not for the death
However,
penalty?
if you've seen talking about being a thief, and they cut a hand off.
I don't think that works. Maybe you should start with the
you keep your life, you lose your hand, and now every job, everything you do to survive from here on out, you will have to even to your own self. It's like, hey, why is it so hard to climb this tree to get these coconuts? Because I only have one hand.
Do you ever try and do anything with one hand? Every single time I try and do something with one hand, the littlest, the fucked up, something fucked up happens that wouldn't even happen if I tried to do it with two hands. It wouldn't even have anything to do with it. But some weird thing happens that it's just like, oh, now I'm fucking stuck. So I feel so bad for anyone that's missing a hand. I just want to say that.
Do I have a stream left? I had to step away to take a phone call.
Jack said something about hooking jumper cables up to testicles. I don't know.
Oh, that's fine. We talk about
they did that on wrestling.
Bradley was explaining, why he can't jerk off with one hand without causing a problem.
I don't. Was I?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Why was he explaining that?
I have no idea.
Because he couldn't clean it up afterwards.
Yes, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a compliment, isn't it? Saying I need two hands. I mean,
whatever you got to do to get off, man.
Y'all used to wait. Never mind. I don't know how far I want to get into it.
I think
but
he's just making.
I'm trying to picture it out for myself too.
No, it's okay. I think he's just making that up. I don't think I was talking about jerking off. It's okay. Right. I mean, I could be wrong.
I could see y'all talking in the background, but I was on the phone, and I'm like, I don't know what they're saying, but I hope it's. I left Bradley kind of loose on the channel.
I think I was keeping it. I was being good.
You said you were gonna be good.
I mean, according to Jack, I was talking about something I don't, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. According to Jack, I don't know.
Well, apparently it takes a noose, right? I don't know where it goes. It might be his other hand, because, I don't know, it's some weird,
It goes on your forehead.
There's a lot of, I don't know. Let Bradley tell it.
I'm lost.
Or we could just move on to a whole different topic.
That'd be awesome. I would fucking love
that.
Yeah, I'm down.
I can only go about another 15, 20 minutes anyway.
Oh yeah, it's getting late for me. I joined kind of late. I was gonna look for something. I didn't have anything. I was kind of
Bradley
preoccupied.
Bradley, do you think it's wrong for me to blow weed smoke into a kitten's face?
Animals like dogs and cats and stuff, they don't. Marijuana doesn't affect them the same as it does humans.
I can guarantee you, a cat can get high.
Okay, I don't know.
Actually, enjoy it.
Actually, I went to school, and the teacher there said that it doesn't. I mean, if the teacher's wrong, but I went to actual school for animal care. And the teacher there said that marijuana is different. That's why you give cats catnip. And if we smoke catnip, it wouldn't affect us. But catnip affects them. because it's different.
Jeff, you know why you can't give IQ tests to an actual smart person?
It's
To
bad
who?
for the cats because it's smoke, but it doesn't affect them in the same way.
Jack, your mic is very low.
Give them to
Mhm.
who?
IQ test.
You know why you can't give an IQ test to an actual smart person?
No.
Because they know more than the teacher does. And they know what's actually right and what's actually wrong, and they're not always right.
Would they fail the test or pass the test? I don't understand.
Sometimes they don't do well because they know that it's wrong.
Okay,
And when
that's
you
see,
actually
I'm with you
talk
Like
on
they
to
could
that.
see
them,
through the test.
That's why
That's
I
right.
always passed. That's why I always failed all my fucking tests. They're like fucking 2 + 2 = and I was like, that's fucking wrong. Do not put 2 next to another 2 because they will fucking fight.
Because it's 5 now. They
Yeah,
discovered.
something like that. It's dangerous to put a 2 next to another 2, so don't do that. It's wrong. Wrong. That's what I say. And they failed me. What are you gonna do? I'm glad I've learned about untrackable. I'm really happy about. I got down to the fucking business of that because I thought he meant like can't track him through the woods, can't track him through the internet. One of those two things.
Mm-hmm.
He threw me a curveball. He said Matchbox cars. And I love it. I love it.
Right there on his profile, man.
Did your mom ever whack you with a Matchbox car track? Because I sure did. When you got in trouble, they couldn't
Those
find the food.
they were like whips. They could we hit each other with them. Our parents didn't, but we used them on each other.
Because they'd step on them and root them, and then they get pissed because they step on them and they broke this fucking. They fucking whack you with them.
Oh, they whipped you with it?
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord.
Oh no, you don't ruin them. You just change the physics.
They never stay together again. You ever break the thing that connects the stupid fucking things? You break that, they never connect again. You try to put tape on or whatever, they come apart, and the fucking car gets stuck there. Matchbox cars.
You collect them?
Yeah, I have a bunch of Matchbox cars. They're actually
Have they improved the technology? Like, does it work now? Have they?
I don't know.
Overcome all of those little.
No, and it's such a simple thing. It's more about the die-cast metal model than it is about the technology.
This is metal. This is back in the day because it doesn't really have a good bottom. See, is there a year on that? Is this from Burger King?
You just send them. You either hold them, you send them, you collect them, you do whatever the fuck you want to do with them.
Gotta catch them all.
But they are toys.
What? How dare you?
Not to everyone, man. Not to the collectors.
They're still real to me, damn it. Do they make a Hot Wheels track that can stay in perpetual motion? Just the car keep moving, like like a fucking train track or something that keeps the train going on. Just. I bet you.
Excellent question.
I'm sure the engineers have calculated your mouth, and they are working on it.
Oh.
A perpetual motion Hot Wheels track with multiple cars. Oh my god!
I can't imagine someone hasn't worked on it at some point. That's
I'm
such an
wearing
obvious thing to attempt.
I have Jurassic Park pajama pants on, just so you know. They're Jurassic Park. I think there's a Dilophosaurus on here somewhere.
I think it's like a watermelon.
And does perpetual motion
there's a raptor.
include force, or is it just physics?
What you mean? I think it has to go do on its own. What you can initiate it, but it has to.
Perpetual motion just keeps going.
Keep the motion going on its own without outside
interference. Like a pendulum. My heart getting heavy, my blood's getting cold. You changed me into something that I can't control.
Because because I've
This
heard of
mission
like
got a mile away.
the watches.
The
I
pigeon of this
grew up
mission
a watch guy,
Oh,
and if you don't wear them, then they will stop. These perpetual motion things. If you
yeah.
don't wear them, they will stop. And there are things that you can buy that twist them up, keep them in. It's a battery holder for your watch that will keep it flowing as if you were walking. But if you wear it, just the swinging of your wrist, the rolling over in the bed, the driving of the car, it will twist your watch.
Ooh. Is that a euphemism?
No.
Oh, my bad. Because last night I kind of rolled over too much and I twisted my watch. Okay. See, I'm making silly, corny jokes, but I'm being good. I think I'm being good. Am I being good?
Yeah, I think you're being good.
Being good. Yeah.
Said,
Yeah. I like Jack's picture over there. He's got his cat, his kitty cat on his shoulder, forearm thing. Yep. Does he look different in that picture?
You have hair?
Yeah.
Oh, like a lot of hair.
Who, me or Jack?
Yeah.
Me?
You. Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
Oh my God, I had no idea you had all that hair. Seriously.
Well, it's hidden from my 5 head.
Yeah. This is the first time I'm even knowing that it was there.
Look, if I go like this, I look like I'm bald.
Well, you
Number
just look.
two.
It looks like you keep it very short.
I usually wear it long, but one day I put it in a ponytail and I cut it, and it came out pretty cool, and I was like, oh, I like this. So I kept it in this weird kind of Degrassi style haircut where it's foofy to the side.
Oh, that's Canadian, right?
Yeah, it's a very feminine television show.
I remember it.
Yeah.
Degrassi Junior High.
I watched The Next Generation.
Oh Lord, is that like their kids?
Yeah, that's the one with Drake where he gets shot and is in a wheelchair.
Oh, I don't know any of the characters. I didn't watch it.
No, the character's name wasn't Drake. The Drake is the artist, the rap artist Drake. Am I saying that right? Yeah, Drake.
I've heard of him. What happened to him?
He was from the show Degrassi, The Next Generation, and
really? Drake was?
Yeah, he was shot and in a wheelchair in the fucking show. Yeah. Fucking Drake.
Oh no, I had no idea.
Oh yeah. There's a big plot. Big plot turn. There's a school shooter. Someone that was bullied for a while on the show. And then he started running away and he shot him in the back. And he fell down like, That's how it felt. That's terrible. Let me imitate a kid being shot in the back.
Stop.
Sorry.
No. See, you have an awareness. You're like, oh, this is probably what Jeff's talking about. But I'm gonna,
I just thought they did it on
attempting it
Degrassi.
anyway.
If they did it on Degrassi, I thought it'd be okay. That's
It was it was from Degrassi?
Yeah. The Next Generation.
Oh my God.
He was shot in the back. He went, he fell over. It's realistic.
Yeah, people in wheelchairs they're pretty easy targets.
He wasn't in a wheelchair then. It was after he was shot, he was in a wheelchair. It was after. He tried running, not scooting away. It's just a horrible. Nobody makes that noise when they're shot.
How many people have you shot, Bradley?
No, not 9. Not 9. I plead the fifth.
Don't lie, Bradley.
Speaking of woke and feminism in Canada, congratulations to who's going to inflict more pain. So you think Canada's going to go more woke now because of the new regime?
What's the new regime? I don't even know.
The Liberals won the election. Canadian
Uh-oh.
Liberals at that.
I heard that, in Canada, they already have it where, like, if you're a comedian or something, you say something offensive, they can have you, like, banned from the country. I don't think they
Oh
can
my
have you
God.
arrested.
They tried to do something with Jordan Peterson. Like
Yeah.
have some kind of public shaming trial and revoke his license.
Is he a comedian?
No, he's that psychologist.
Oh.
That dude's a fucking psycho doctor.
Did he say something offensive or that they thought was offensive?
Yeah, that they thought was I think it was something about trans women not being women or something like that.
Okay, so he's like J.K. Rowling.
He refuses to use the pronouns.
Yeah,
They're like you're a psychologist
conservative.
and you're inflicting psychological harm, and we charge you with malpractice, and we're gonna move to revoke your license. And they had some kind of little committee hearing, and they
I feel
grilled
the
him
same
about
way.
it.
Yeah,
I agree.
he's very conservative as far as his values, but he does make the what do you call it? He does make the rounds at all of the podcasts and whatnot, and he has told his story and has his beliefs, and you know what? His country decided that there was like, oh, okay, this guy's a big old question mark. We need to get rid of him.
That's not right.
It's like, what? How? And again, it kind of goes back to U.S. politics. How are you going to deport somebody that is a legal citizen?
Yeah.
I swear to God. Like, I think we should get rid of a lot of people. We were talking about the execution policy earlier. What are you going to do with somebody that you can't export?
Well, you should let them speak their mind, in my opinion. I don't, and here's the way I feel. If you're a moral person or a Christian, is saying something that you don't believe is true, like that person that you believe is a male that wants to be called a female, and they say, oh, I want you to call me a female, I would have to say, I'm sorry, but I believe that is a lie. And you're telling me to say a lie, which is what I believe is wrong. You're telling me to do something that I believe is wrong. That's called a lie.
They're asking you because they have no authority to compel you to do it.
I think that I feel that they're
At least
trying
here
to
in
compel
America.
with, people they're losing their jobs and stuff over this. So I think that there's some sort of compulsion to do what they say. I think they feel that they can,
I think that's starting to reverse under.
I hope so. Yeah. I hope so, because that's the way I feel. I haven't heard somebody say that point is to where I feel that it's a lie and people shouldn't be forced to tell a lie. I haven't heard anybody say that, so that's why I just want to speak my opinion. If it's stupid, I'm sorry. If it's bad, I'm sorry. But that's the way I feel.
Well, at least
That's
it was
a lie.
entertaining.
Yeah, okay, cool. I like to be entertaining.
Yeah, that's all we ask. This is an entertainment channel.
I'm not
That's all
talking
we ask of
nonsense,
here.
though. You understand what I'm saying? That's a lie. If I feel that that's untrue, like if you were just to tell me,
I don't use pronouns either, so you don't have to explain it to me.
Okay, all right.
Like I'm gonna call them by whatever they look like to my brain. It's their responsibility to pass. If they want to be seen a certain way, they have to do the work that achieves that result.
I mean,
if you still look like a man to me, and that's how my brain sees you, that's probably what you're gonna get called.
Especially if they have a beard, which for some reason I don't know why a lot of them want to dress like women.
Because some of them are trans, and you could see that they're mostly effeminate. They're trying to pass, but you still see the man. Like the man parts are still obvious, and it's like uncanny valley. And I can't in my mind, equate that with the same thing as a woman. The differences are too glaring.
Well,
And
let's
it's
just say
nobody's
I'm
fault. It's nobody's fault, but I don't want to pretend like that I'm not seeing what I'm seeing either.
You shouldn't have to. You should be able to live in
Right.
reality.
You shouldn't have to.
This is a crazy thing to say. You shouldn't have to go to tea time pretend land for everyone out there that thinks that they should have their will opposed to unbound people.
That's why I think the trans women as its own category makes sense. They're not women, they're trans women. They're called trans women for a reason because it's a different category than women.
You can be different. You can be special. You can't definitively say I'm this or I'm that, and I'm going to force you to say that. You're some, you're if you don't want to be a man, then you're not a man. You're something special, but you're definitely not a woman. I'm sorry. You can't. There's no way of ever knowing what that's like, and you can't just. That's the way I feel. You can't change something. That's something that you can't change, and if you can't accept something you can't change, I don't know. But
well, there's something to be said there as well, and it is what would be your goal with meeting any person that you met? Because if you have goals of, getting a home run or third base, or you understand that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so if your plan is to get there, is it their duty to let you know, hey, I got the full toolbox?
Yeah.
Or is it your duty in seeking? Because if they're going to be the feminine, they're going to appear available. Whereas if you are the masculine, you are going to be the seeker. So does some of it come upon your duty to who you are going to interact with to be duped, or to ask the right questions, to move forward?
I don't know if this is weird, but if you have any suspicions, maybe you can stop being the seeker. And if they start being the seeker and you're like, if they want to pretend they're a woman, then that's all I got to say.
But you can ask questions all the way up until you find the fucking truth.
Mr.
And
Happy?
if you failed to ask the questions, yet they were so attractive up until that point, and then you get a flopper in your face, and you're like, "Oh, you didn't tell me about this." It was like, "Well, you didn't fucking ask. You thought I was hot until that moment."
Did you kiss them? I think that they should before.
I think that's gaslighting.
Yeah, sure. But to me personally, I don't want to kiss another man, so I would hope that before I kiss them, they would tell me I'm trans.
Would you check? Like, is it better for you to take the responsibility and just check?
Let me peek up that dress there for a second. No, I don't think it really technically works that way. I think, I think
like, how are they going to get away with it? Because at some point, unless it's just completely in the dark the whole time,
they can hide it. Oh yeah, they can definitely hide it and try.
And you wouldn't try to feel or run your hands and just real quick and make sure.
But there's a difference between how we become attracted to each other.
Maybe I would try.
And a lie. So if you ask, hey, are you this way or that way or the other? It may be an awkward break of passion, but if you're already attracted to the person, you may need to break that passion and be like, hey, are you like this, that, or the other?
No, you can't ask an actual woman if she's trans, because that will end the situation at any time. You can't. That's why it's up to them. Because if you're with an actual, woman, you go, you look a dude.
Well,
It's not gonna work out good.
You could find a way to
but
get
you
it.
see
Bring
what
it
I'm
up.
saying. You see what I'm saying. If you were actually attracted to that person,
Yeah.
apparently you were attracted superficially. You weren't thinking long term. You were thinking, "Oh, I get to fuck, and this person's really into me." And hey, guess what? When they whip it out, do you get to be mad? Do you really get to be mad at that point because you
Yeah.
were fully attracted to this person
Because they look
all
like
the way up
No,
to
that's an
until they
important
pulled
piece of
out a dick bigger
information.
than yours?
if someone put on a Batman mask and I thought they were Batman, it's not my fault that I thought they were Batman. It's their fault for putting on a Batman mask. I like Batman. I didn't know. They're dressed like a woman. I think it is up to them. It's definitely up to them, and you have definitely the right to be mad if they trick you and say, you did a lot of things, and to the point where they, whip it out and stay in your face, and you go, I think that you have every right to go.
You have a right to be mad because you didn't ask questions, and
No,
you
can't ask those
recognize where
questions.
you met them.
How
then
would you
all of-
ask? Play out how you would
That's what I'm
ask them?
saying. You can't ask those questions to a real woman.
How do you bring something like that up?
Do you have a dick?
How do you move on with your life, even meeting people without asking questions? Hey, what do you do for a living? Hey, what neighborhood do you live in? Hey, we're close to each other, and we met each other at this place that we normally go to. How do you get along life without? How do you learn
But
without
get to
asking?
that specific question. I want to hear how it comes out.
Those questions you already said are very appropriate. Do you have a dick is not appropriate.
I would think if somebody was so into you that it was undeniable that you've basically already said all of the nasty things that I want to do to you tonight. Hey, by the way, please indulge me.
No.
Do you have a dick? Hey, Dave. And if you really want to get it right, if you have a question in your brain and you've already said the nastiest things that you can say to another human being about how you're going to get it on,
of a dick.
What's wrong with saying, hey, I have my proof right here. Just know that I'm this type of way. Maybe you got to talk a little bit of politics along the way, but eventually it's going to come out. Be like, hey, I like you. I just want to make sure you don't have a dick. Hey, I'm sorry, but if you're trying too hard, you're going to wind up one of those angry dudes that winds up killing somebody and getting a life sentence that we don't know how is executed because of the laws in place. And what are you going to do? You'll be like, oh, I was so hot on this chick and it turned out to be a dude and now I'm not going to live anymore. Ask the fucking question. I'd rather be embarrassed than killed.
Mike, they're talking about which bathroom they're supposed to use, because if we just fucking use one for everybody and make it standard, then Bradley won't have to put in all this work to figure out who's who.
Who's who? I would play Guess Who when I was a kid, but does it have a cock? Isn't one of the questions.
Hey man, I'm just trying to catch him up to speed. I'm not.
Welcome back, Mike. What are your thoughts on all of this? Would you
What's
ask
up?
somebody?
Well, if you're talking about dating somebody, like in other words, if you're like you want to date, right? You go on a date, you want to dinner with
just
somebody.
go to bed with them.
Well, no, you want to get to know them first. You want to just meet some random person on the street and then just go right to the bedroom. I mean, I'm saying, but if you're getting
either way, in either scenario, like how would you ask that question?
Well, I think you kind of know. I mean, I guess some of the trans people do get the surgeries. I guess the Adam's apple shave, and they get the the boobs and stuff. So there are certain people that you could not tell at first glance, but with certain questioning, I think if you're trying to get to know somebody, but no, have people been tricked? Yeah, I mean, you hear so many stories about people that have been tricked, and people have K-worded people over being tricked over it.
Or K-worded themselves.
And again, there's also people that like straight up had a good time because DTF. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
I mean, people can went through with it anyway.
You can't.
People can like what they like. Yeah, to me, no, I would not partake in that. But that's just my opinion. But there are people
you would want to know though ahead of time, right? And not get
I would.
by surprise.
But
I've never had a one-night stand. I've never had a one-night stand. Anyone I've ever been with, and I've been with a lot of women, anyone I've ever been with, I've got to know them at least a few weeks, a month or more. I got to know them. I got to, all the questions, multiple dates, things like that. I've never just jumped, me personally, I've never just jumped in bed with somebody. So I never had that experience, but there are a lot of stories out there where people do get tricked. They do. They get tricked into something.
There was
That's what we're trying to figure out.
There was a woman that pretended to be.
If you tell a woman, "Hey, I'm straight," it's going to confuse.
Drugs, Bradley is who he is too, man.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think it's due diligence. I think if you're gonna, and I think it's really, really unfortunate that people will sleep with people, and they don't get to know them. They don't use protection. They don't protect themselves and the rest of their life. Because people are too quick and promiscuous, and especially when we're younger. When we're younger, we're just like we're ready to go. When we're in our 20s, and so. But yeah, so it's getting to know somebody, and then I think just my opinion. When you get to know them better and you build some kind of relationship with them, sex is better. It's better.
First, I'd like to get to know you. Who is your daddy and what does he do? I'm a cop, you idiot.
You ever hear the prank calls from Arnold? That's what he said.
I'd like to get to know you.
I mean, I personally think the physical interaction is better when it's new and when there's no the less knowledge the better in my perspective.
Yeah.
However, for the long term, it's like, hey, we've already been through this.
I just want to hear Arnold say
when you say my name
one time. Have you ever fucking heard it? It's never been done.
What?
You can't make a fucking AI generated of his voice to say reefer. It doesn't work. Because he's never said it in his whole life, I don't think.
I want to smoke the reefer. Sometimes I get so high it feels like I'm coming, and then when I pump iron, it feels like I'm coming. I smoke the reefer. I'm coming all the time.
I guess
that's actually from a documentary where he's talking about pumping iron, feeling like he's coming, and then going out on stage and feeling like he's coming, and then fucking someone and feeling like he's coming.
Yeah, I do believe that is an actual quote. I've heard it myself.
He said that. It's a documentary.
He said, "I'm coming all the time."
All the time. He's like, I'm coming all the time.
See, Mike, if you're that kind of guy, then it'd be a barter system. And you wouldn't need to get all this shit out of the way. You just need to know which fucking bathroom they use. All right. Yeah. He just wants to be prepared. He doesn't want to deal with that because it's just a barter.
And I think it's a growing problem, with the whole movements going on, with men classifying as women and using a women's bathroom. I don't think that should be allowed. So now if we're gonna go into that new frontier, then have a third bathroom, have a neutral bathroom that's either men or women. Does that make sense?
If you're confused about your gender,
Bradley, that's
go
good.
into this room.
Troll, man. You're good too.
No, he's right, man. Women's spaces are for women's spaces.
Yeah.
No, damn it, that's plastic.
No,
I want to fuck with Bradley. I can think of a way better than that. I do it too.
I'm sorry, but I have seen too many cases where people have gone in there and they've done inappropriate things as a man thinking they're a woman and going into a woman's restroom. I've heard lots of cases.
I've been to I've been to some foreign places, and there's a singular utility, and when you go in there, it's all yours. You lock the door behind you.
One world.
And there is no differentiation of male or female. It's like, oh no, the differentiation is somebody's in there, so now I have to wait. How about that?
Yeah. On Ally McBeal, they had unisex bathrooms, but that was all for adults. So adults cross-gender pissing and shitting together, who gives a fuck? But when you're in a public place and you need to bring your children in there, no. Some dude in a fucking skirt can't walk in there and, Pico. No. And I'm sorry, I have said there's lots of cases and I won't go into them, but it's violent.
And that's the one thing that I do like, and I completely accept anyone's right to be who they are. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying people are gross or anything like that, but no. I like the fact that President Trump stood up and he's going to stop all of the transgenders in women's sports. A man should not compete against a woman. I'm sorry, but we are genetically superior than a woman. That is just the truth.
Just trying to stop sports, period. That's the point, Mike. It has nothing to do with that. They're just trying to find a way to end fucking any sort of aggression in schools. They want fucking sheep, and that's all they want.
We can physically build more muscle than women.
That's true, man. That's why they're doing it.
If it's chest,
at 50 years old, I'm at 50 years old. Okay, if we went to the gym, me and a 20-something-year-old woman went to the gym, and in her top shape, I could punch 3 times harder than she can. There is no way a boxer, a man, should be fighting a woman in the ring. That should not happen. We're not talking about WWE. We're not talking about fate, sports entertainment. We're talking about an actual physical altercation. That should not happen. A man can K-word, but hear me out. A man a trained man could K-word a woman in a physical fight. K-word in a physical fight.
With one hit. With a certain kind of man. I'm sorry. It's not
Bradley, the adults are talking. You can jerk yourself off later.
It makes sense when you say a certain kind of.
Well, I mean a big strong man.
It's like the football.
Brock Lesnar. Do you not think
it's Brock like the football players and cheerleaders? There's a big difference between barbarians and dancers. There's a big difference there. However, there are little dudes out there that will be abused by bigger women, and they will fuck those dudes right on up.
They can be
sure. There's lots of scrawny little men out there. But
so if you want to be superficial about life,
that's a rarity.
Then go ahead and judge everybody by the book. The cover of the book rather than, because what's gonna wind up happening is you're gonna wind up being alone someday.
Well,
and you didn't read the fucking book.
I have to disagree with you. I don't. That's a rarity that they're women beating up on men. That's a rarity.
Not as rare as people think.
Okay, maybe, but
Can I just so you know how they say God created man before woman because practice makes perfect? Just saying.
I like that. It's a good one. But we still needed a couple of our fucking ribs, didn't it?
I'm trying to wrap up, Kanye. In fact, I do need to wrap up, so we'll have to do final words, final thoughts.
Fucking ribs.
But when it comes to swimming or things like that or gymnastics, I can understand because it's not a physical altercation. But all I'm trying to say is that a man shouldn't be physically fighting a woman like in boxing or jiu-jitsu or judo. A man should not be fighting a woman. That's just my opinion in a physical altercation. That's all.
What about basketball, hockey, football, or football?
No, we'll have to pick this up another day. I gotta end
Yeah.
it.
Have a good night, everyone. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Later, everybody.
Bye.
What the
Anybody else?
hell?
Yeah, that was just my point. That's all. But yeah,
You
it's,
too, Jeff.
it should be separated. It should be separated. That's all. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'll see you
I hear
next
you.
time, or when next time I'm out. I don't know when that'll be. Maybe
You're not
tomorrow.
going. You taking a day off?
I don't know. I'll see how tomorrow goes.
Awesome.
So,
Whatever happened to Frank? Is he still around? Man, that guy in the
The
back room
troll?
was constantly trying to show me women beating the shit out of men, or women beating the shit out of women. Like either
You talking
way, it
about
was just
Frank,
like
Monkey
women. Just
Frank?
yeah. Right, man, that guy.
Wow,
I'm
I didn't
telling you,
know all
Mike,
this.
he
No,
liked the
he
exact
pops.
opposite of
He's
what you're
around.
talking
He
about, man.
pops in and out.
There are people out there who love watching that shit.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like seeing a woman. I don't like seeing a woman with blood on her face. I just like people like to watch the woman boxing or the women UFC. I don't like to see a woman hurt. I mean, that's just me. I hate to see a woman like bloody. It makes me sick. That's just me.
While Jeff was away,
Yeah.
Bradley was explaining that man, those people who are on the other side of his fence like that should just die, right? Like he went on this rant and for like forever, which was weird because it felt like reflective of himself in some way. Like maybe he feels that way, so he has to feel that way. Like it's coming at him. I'm not sure, but it was like, God, man, you're on the other
Well,
side of, you know.
Jack, I'll say this in closing because I know Jeff wants to get off. But Jack, the one thing about YouTube, especially platforms like this, it's a case study. We learn about each other, and it's fascinating to look at what other people say and what they think, and just think about it because it could reflect on maybe a situation in your life. But you're right; it is fascinating what people say and do. It's wild, man. You come across some crazy characters on these YouTube streets, man. You come across crazy people. But yeah,
They're
that
all
being
here,
said, Jeff,
man.
thank you. Yeah, Jack, great to meet you. I don't think I've ever talked to you before. I don't think I've ever talked to you. But very nice to meet you, Shift. Have a great night. Jeff, always a pleasure, man. Have a great night. Hopefully I see you soon, brother. Take
You
care.
too, Mike. Have a good night. Jack,
A lot of
Shift,
fun,
got
Jeff.
anything you want to say?
Nah, I had fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait,
Thanks for coming up.
Jack, what's your cat's name?
Which one?
Squirm?
What? What?
She's
Did
trying
you
to
put
steal your cat's name.
Squirrel?
your cat's name is Squirrel?
Yes.
That
Because
is
everything
horrible.
answers for
I like
squirrel.
Squirm.
You yell squirrel, and everything jumps up to see. Doesn't matter what it is.
That's so cute. Okay, thanks, y'all. Have a good one.
You too. Take care. Oh, whoa. Okay, that's a familiar feeling. Thank you, everybody. Tomorrow I work, so I have to shift back into work mode. So the streams are going to come whenever they come. They may not be there every day, but I will try to get one in at least every other day or so if I can. So I'll see you at the next one, whatever that is. In the meantime, keep being yourself. It's a lot of extra stress and work and energy to have to like hide that and hold all that in. So to the extent, I'm not saying like completely be yourself all the time under all circumstances everywhere, but to the extent that you can let more of that out in relation to how much you hold back, I think that's healthier. So find places where you're able to do that more. And this is hopefully one of them within certain boundaries. There's still lines here. So like I'm not saying let everything out. There's some things that you just can't let out here. But we do what we can. All right. Thanks everybody. Take care.